Get in here, man. Get in here, Haven. Let's get it. We vibing out tonight. Friday Night Live. We vibing tonight. Get in here. Get your mother in here. Let's get it, man. Get your in here. Let's get it, Haven. Vibing out tonight. Definitely vibing out tonight. Let's see what's up. All right, listen. We just gonna roll out and do what we do. You know what I'm saying? We gonna roll out and do what we do. We do this intro. Yo, Haven, what's good? It's my intention that all is well with you guys. Hopefully you will be in a wonderful, magnificent mood after this presentation if you wasn't already having a wonderful, magnificent rotation. You know what I'm saying? Grace, gratitude, and thanks to all you guys who've been rocking out from the beginning, sharing love, sharing light. You know, just rocking out, man. It's muchly, deeply. I am deeply grateful. I'm saying so. Grace, gratitude, and thanks for rocking out from the beginning. And if you're new to the channel, like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when we go up. Anyone and everyone who has ever sown to see with me and will be returned 100-fold as the most high and you as a divine vessel to divinely support yours truly, because it's all about divine support. I just want to say grace, gratitude, and thanks. Peace and prosperity, you and yours never goes unnoticed. Really does help the channel, the foundation, my well-being. If you would like to do the same, you already know what's up. You're not obligated though, so let's not sweat that. Anyhow, for the people in the back who draws us too damn tight, panties always in a bunch, relax, pipe down. If it don't resonate with you, leave it on the ground for someone else to pick it up. You don't got to be here. You choose to. Remember that before you fix your lips to say something stupid. Full disclaimer, this video is for entertainment purposes only. Any and everything you see on this channel is merely speculation. View discretion is advised. Please do your own homework and research for proper discernment. Hey, yo, Haven, look, I don't know when y'all going to be watching this, if y'all going to be late, if y'all going to... We doing things a little differently. Tonight, listen, Holistic Remedies is going to be on Mama T's podcast or her live situation. So we about to go over there and see what they talking about. Tap into those esoterics and just vibe out with them. Now, Friday Night Live, we're going to do things different on Friday Night Lives. We're just going to chill, vibe out, listen to esoteric talks and things like that. Anyhow, let's get right into it, baby. Y'all know what's up. Y'all know what's up, man. Remember, hit that like button. Hit that like button and don't be shy to leave comments. Let's get it. I'm going to probably eat some food off camera and then come back. So, yeah. Anyhow, let's get this up here. See, hold on. Let's see how we're going to do this. There you go. We got it. Let's get it. See what they talking about.
The spring equinox is for the sowing or the planting of the corn, and the summer solstice is the harvest of crops. So really, I'm not gonna say corn the whole time because they was going all type of crops at the time. But spring is for this where you get sow a seed from. You reap what you sow from. You sow in the spring and you reap in the harvest, right?
Right.
And they were using, the Sumerians used moon alignments, right? And the North American mound builders also use moon alignments. So that's where you get the Islam crescent moon and morning star from.
Yeah.
That's the first knowledge of that. It's coming from the mound builders. So the Sumerians were mound builders who came to that area, taught about the Sirius star.
I'll be back.
From the Americas. Yeah. Okay.
Because they planted corn in the Tigris and the Euphrates River. They irrigated that river just like the Mississippi.
So corn is native or natural over here than it is over there. It was bought from here over there. Okay.
And what's so important about corn is it is a hybrid plant So therefore, somebody had to put that science to put that plant together, so it just don't grow in the wild. So it shows that people had to bring it to certain areas of the world.
I'll be back, Haven.
So this kind of reminds me of like Tahuti a little bit, the emerald tablets. Like there's a thing, right? Some people are saying, before back in the day, I started out as a Hotepa. Okay, this is a long time ago. Before I made the connection that wait, hold up, there's something to this. Like hold on, wait a minute. Like we're trying to adapt to something over here, right? And there's to keep us away from looking at from what's right here. Until I got my hands on the emerald tablets. This is about 10 years ago, and there was something in the Emerald Tablets where he was like, they left Atlantis and then they went to the land of Chem, right? And I'm like, they got us thinking that you started over there. So you left from one place, right? And you went to another place. So when I hear, that, when you say that the Sumerians bought that information, either they started from here or they bought it here, you're always finding this connection or this correlation of a group of people that left this area and came over there, right? And how I started to make the connection with where's Atlantis, because everyone knows Atlanta, right? And we try to make the correlation, and then there's the Atlantic Ocean. So there's something that connects us over here, right? Georgia is on the coast. So my question was, Tahuti, or Thoth, they call him, was an Atlantean, right? This is what he states in his book, according to the book, right? We don't know. I don't know who wrote it, but according to the book. So do you think that the Americas was the original area of Atlantis?
Yes, 100%. Because let me give you a couple of things of the research. Mesopotamia and the Nile River, those areas of the world are desert areas. They don't have enough water to flood, so a flood story coming from this area is just out of the question. That's just really common sense. The Mississippi River has flooded over 1,000 times. Amazon River floods 1,000 times. Mayans have murals on the wall showing them in boats with animals and kids, like the Noah story. Every tribe in America knows about the flood story. The flood story came from here, and the story carried over to there. And when it got over there, they used Aquarius zodiac as the flood marker in Samaria and Egypt. So Happy, the god Happy in Egypt, Hapi is the water bearer Aquarius representation in Egypt, and in Samaria, I can't think of the name of the god, but it's a water bearer. So they used Aquarius zodiac in the sky to depict the flood that their ancestors or somebody had brought over there and told them that. It didn't really happen there. It didn't really happen there. The people brought it there with the knowledge. So America is Atlantis. Lake Titicaca or Lake Texcoco in Mexico has an underwater city in the lake that is they say that is the base point of Atlanta. This is right outside of the pyramids of Thoth and the sun and the moon pyramids.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Look like we lost you. I don't have.
Damn,
this shit was good and good. You see what happens in the world. Always messing with us. All right. Well, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna bring on Strange Wordplay. All right. I think he dropped off. So I'm gonna bring on the brother Strange Wordplay to see if he wants to piggyback off of what he's saying.
Yo, listen, man. Go tap in with Mama T, man. If you haven't already, big shout out to her. We are watching her live podcast right now. We watching her live footage. We just vibing out tonight. You feel me? Things I would be doing on my own time, we doing it together. Let's get it.
The flood. So the flood story doesn't come from there. The flood story comes from a place
I'm eating my food.
with lots of water, lots of rivers, lots of islands, and oceans around water. So the flood story comes from America. And like I said, the Mayans have stories just like Noah and the story, the Popol Vuh, which that is one of the same stories as the Epic of Gilgamesh story, has the flood, and it happened on that land. So Atlantis is in America. The star alignment started for agriculture in America. That's where you get the Sirius and Orion and the Pleiades star system from. All of that comes from aligning these stars up for different times of the year for agriculture. It went to other places around the world. Those were the Atlanteans. Um, and so-called Hebrew teachings came from the mound building culture, who done it, who created this star alignment for agriculture. And I really believe it started in America because it's the oldest place that I find it in. So Atlantis is here. We
Okay.
sitting on Atlantis.
Well, it's interesting you say that because the big mystery that they blocked off that this information has come to the light a few years ago was the
Hmm.
Grand Canyon,
Yeah,
right? And the artifacts and things. There's temples there, right? You can see pyramid. You can see all kind of shit over there, right?
exactly.
And so you can see there was some sort of ancient civilization over there. Then you also see that there's cities and towns and names that are over here that are over there on the other side of the world, right?
Exactly.
Like Utah, they'll say that's Judah and all of these different things. There's little Egypt here. There's all of these Memphis over
Yeah.
here, that go all the things that go along the Nile. So there is some sort of they want you to think that we're mimicking what's over there
Yeah.
as opposed to what actually this is where the origins is, and also to hide, I guess, if they have to go through all of that, the mystery is the people that are here, right?
Yeah.
The native people, right? So there's been an identity theft at the same
Yeah.
time. Now, before I bring on the next guest, I wanted to ask you your thoughts about
Mhm.
Tartaria. Like,
Okay.
what is this another part of our ancient civilization? How does this tie into all of this?
Okay. What people don't know is our culture evolved to get more intelligent and more intelligent and more intelligent.
Mhm.
People think mounds and pyramids and Tartarian buildings don't have the same background. They do. It started with mounds. It went to pyramids and temples into Tartarian buildings. The reason I know Tartarian buildings come from that same stock of teaching, because people don't understand about the green man. On the front of Tartarian buildings, you have the green man. That is a representation of the resurrection of the spring. If you know anything about Egypt, Osiris is a representation of the
The green,
spring.
yeah, and
The
he's the green
green
man as
man,
well.
vegetation, but he's green because of vegetation. These
Okay.
buildings are aligned with the spring equinox because that is the beginning of this. They call it the real New Year, but they also call it the resurrection of the earth, the vegetation of the earth. So when you put the green man on front of a Tartarian building, it's the same teachings. It just
Ah,
evolved. It just
okay. I got you.
evolved more. So our people also built the Tartarian building because they are also aligned. I got a video on my page showing Catholic churches, which they stole it from our ancient
The
culture,
cathedrals, yes. Yeah.
cathedrals aligned
Mhm.
with the summer solstice, hidden
The
hidden crops on the floor. The sun comes in
wow.
on the summer solstice, it hits crops on the floor. That building was already built before they put a church there. It was already there for the summer solstice of our ancient culture, and it also has a representation of a Osiris or a maize god or a new type of
Mm,
deity on the building. So our people
that's
also built
interesting.
Tartarian buildings.
I used to live in DC for about 2 years, and I used to work. Actually, I had to work in DC,
Hmm.
and there was a I used to see the alignment, 16th Street, right? 16th Street
Yeah.
in Washington D.C. that goes to the White House, right? And if anybody ever traveled visited D.C., the streets in D.C. are laid out totally different than they are anywhere else in the country, right? It's like they run parallel, and then there's these little roundabouts, and then parallel and more roundabouts. And so it's like they're on these different. They look like nodes, right, going out. But on 16th Street, along there, they have cathedrals, right? And every day, when the sun rises, it goes up over. I think it's, I don't know if it's the White House. Like the way it's hooked up, you got, I think, the monument on one end and then the White House on another. But anyway, where the sun rises, it's like the sun creates this beam of light that shoots right down 16th Street. And then they ring the bells, right? Then they're down there, like they would ring the bells at 12 noon every day, right? They ring the bells as when the sun reaches a certain point. And I guess when the sun goes down that street, the reason, I won't say the reason why, but most churches have stained glass windows, right? And so when that
Exactly.
sun is hit, it seems like they illuminate or they activate. And the technology is coming from, I guess, the Tartarian, because all them buildings are Tartarian. They just reoccupied them. They ain't built shit. We on the, like, now we know, but because they're
Exactly.
so ancient. And when you look at the old footage of the 1800s when they showing them in horse and buggies, you got these sophisticated buildings behind them. So you in a sophisticated building with these antennas all over the place, but you in a horse and buggy that were already aligned to planetary movements and the movements of the sun. And so that kind of, I wanted to tie that into what you were talking about. And there's one thing I wanted to ask you, one more thing. You had a video out about heroes,
Yeah.
and you were saying that the heroes that they're depicting in movies
Hmm.
are actually our ancestors that they're talking about. And you said you had something for the sun. You was talking about the Skywalkers. You were
Yeah.
talking about all these different characters. Touch on that a little bit for me.
Okay. The word hero comes from Haru ideology. Haru ideology is kind of like the representation of it in Egypt is Horus. Haru, the falcon-headed god. Um, so we wrote a story about hero twins. Our ancient culture wrote a story about hero twins. That's how I know the Sumerian teachings come from here, because the Epic of Gilgamesh is the same hero twin story that the Mayans have, that the Olmecs
Mhm.
have, right? It's the same story. Stars fighting different gods of the zodiacs going around. But see, if you're not deep into the knowledge, you think it's some type of real story. See, our ancient culture put things in code so we can understand it. If
Yeah,
you can
in fact,
understand it, you will literally think a hunter is chasing a bear in a story, but really our culture is telling you Orion the hunter, the
with the
star
bear, right?
constellation,
Yeah,
is behind Ursa Major. But if you're not connected to it, that's not your people's knowledge. You tell the they end of the story, but we tell the real story to our people. So
interesting.
the once we understand the star constellations, we can break down knowledge of our ancestors down to the point to where can't nobody tell us nothing that is not real, right? So Haru is hero. The hero twins fought against the Scorpion Man, which is Scorpio. They fought against the Bull of Heaven, that is Taurus. They fought against different, and they tried to change that
Different
into like some
constellation.
constellations, and
Yeah,
other people think they're really talking about these people are fighting monsters, but they put that in movies. They
yeah.
put that in movies. Optimus Prime is named after Orion's belt. Like I said, the video, Luke Skywalker is the sun going around the zodiac. That is, the sun is the Skywalker.
Mm.
Um, Atlantean, the fish part of Atlantean, the Sumerians have the fish god, the Dagon. Dagon means corn, people. See, we got to stop playing with the knowledge. If you're
Is
gonna
that
name your
right?
culture, if you're gonna name your culture an American crop, where did the knowledge come from? We can't just look over that like they named Dagon. Dagon is corn in Hebrew and different languages. Just like Mecca,
Well, damn.
Makkah. Just like Makkah. The pilgrimage to Mecca
So what is the
is that's the
significance of corn?
significance is it's a hybrid crop that comes from this land. So if a culture across the world is praising corn, obviously somebody who knew about corn brought it to them.
Yeah,
They didn't
that's what
know.
I'm trying to say. What is it about? It's a hybrid crop, but it must have some kind of spiritual significance.
It fed ancient cultures way faster than any other crop. It fueled the people. It fed enough people to build the pyramids. It fed enough people to build the pyramids in Peru and Mexico. It fed the people of the Mississippi. Corn changed the world because it grows so fast and it's so hardy, and you have a great, y'all, I know y'all heard of a great harvest or a good harvest, abundant harvest. Corn
Right.
is an abundant harvest crop that can feed all of my family all through the winter, and we don't have to be hunter gatherers no more. We can get fish out the Mississippi and eat corn out the crop field, and we not running around trying to hit something with a barbarian. So
That's true.
civilizations started with corn.
Yeah. But I'm sure also corn also has a technology to it. Don't they make? Can't they make fuel from corn, or
Make
this thing
fuel.
you can make from corn as well? So, for it to be traveled to all these vast places and always in the middle of some form of symbology, right? I'm
Exactly.
sure if we get deeper into the metaphysics of it, I know we were eating it. It does feed us and fuel us, but there has to be something about it because it's like gold. If you really look at
Yeah.
it, it's like a form of gold. So I'm gonna bring on our next guest. This
Okay.
brother here, honey, he be getting kicked off of TikTok more than he kicked on because he's dropping a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom. This brother knows about health and wellness. He's a scientist, right? He is an astral traveler. I think he spent more time in the astro than he does on planet Earth. Welcome to the stage, everybody. My brother, once again.
I say, peace, peace, peace and love, peace to the collective.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Same birthday in the book. Man, this shit long.
I just want to say, yeah, man, I appreciate. They showing me a lot of love. I see.
Yeah.
No, what the brother was saying in reference to corn, it was confirmed that extraterrestrials actually brought corn to the planet. The Hopis actually spoke on being introduced to corn from extraterrestrial biological entities. All right.
Ever.
And then guess what? After then they seen corn, they start putting cornrows in their head.
Oh,
Actually
shit.
trying to copy what they were seeing from the extraterrestrials. You feel me?
Shut
So
up.
corn is a very significant plant. Now, just to kind of, I don't know if you want to ask me questions, I can dive right into
Bro,
it.
go ahead. Shit, you done
Right,
jumped in. Go ahead. Cannonball, baby.
in reference to Atlantis, now I agree. I believe personally that Atlantis also was in America, but I also believe it was more than America. I believe Atlantis was so vast that it was actually in multiple places. So one of the earliest and most known philosophers, Plato, actually spoke on Atlantis in two writings called the Critias and the Triaeus in 360 BC. From 10 to 12,000 years ago. Okay. Now, Plato believed that Atlantis was located in the Atlantic Ocean. His knowledge of Atlantis came from an Athenian philosopher named Solon. All right. That regularly traveled the Kemet around 600 BC. So remember, most of these guys got all of their ancient information from ancient Kemet. All right. So 600 BC, he learned this information going back and forth to Kemet and learned about a civilization that existed 9,000 years earlier. All right. So now keep in mind, you got Plato, you got Pythagoras, who created the Pythagorean theorem, all fascinated by this ancient Kemetic science from Atlantis. All right. So now they all getting together. They all congregating amongst each other. All right. And Plato had connections to secret organizations and various occult brotherhood initiates. All right. That's one thing you want to remember. Plato also had access, gods and goddesses, to the Library of Alexandria, which was located in ancient Kemet. This library was burnt. All right. They had all our ancient science from Xylanthia, all our ancient information from the Biru, all in the Library of Alexandria. All right. And this is one of the reasons it was burned. All right. And also the Library of Timbuktu. Now, keep in mind, because all our cosmic celestial knowledge was kept there, it was a huge library with vast information. Now, there was a clairvoyant individual named Edgar Casey, all right, a clairvoyant psychic that could see past, present, and future timelines that stated the Library of Alexandria was actually created by the Atlanteans, all right,
Is that right?
in 300 BC. So the Atlanteans is actually responsible for the Library of Alexandria. That was extraterrestrial information. All right. And this is one of the reasons why the government couldn't have it here, why they eradicated that information. Now, according to Plato, Atlantis was located in the Atlantic Ocean beyond the Pillars of Hercules, which is said to be the Strait of Gibraltar, which is a narrow strait that connects to the Atlantic Ocean to the Mediterranean Sea. All right. And it separates Europe from Africa by 7.7 nautical miles, which is the God number. All right. So, and then, which ironically, again, it's the God number. Atlantis was literally 1 million years ahead of us technologically. All right. And about 12,000 years ago, they say Enki was the king of Atlantis. All right. And we're going to get into some more information here. Now, this here is going to be a little bit cosmic. We're going to talk about a little bit about the Anunnaki and how they tie into it. All right. So there's a story in Numi Elish about a Rushka girl who was a daughter of Enki. He was Enki's eldest daughter. All right. Was associated with an organization known as the Dark Brotherhood. They practice nefarious necromancy and mixed humanoid genetics. Typically, you see a lot of these Egyptians with the cattle bodies and stuff. This was done through different eugenics testing and experimentations that the Dark Brotherhood was doing. Okay, they was heavily into splicing and genetic mutations with animals and hybrids and different things. Even now in Japan, they
so hold on. What was this? This was going on here.
This was going on in Atlantis. This was going on
in Atlantis. Okay.
Now here it is science. Now check this out. So a Rushka girl basically used the Atlantean science for dark, nefarious purposes. So just like you have yin and yang, you have light and dark. A Rushka girl was taking the same science as the Enki had. Because now hear me out. In Atlantis, they had quantum rejuvenation chambers. Literally, they could step in and regrow limbs. They can have an arm cut off and grow in this quantum rejuvenation chamber, regrow a limb. They can actually switch bodies. Dolph the Atlantean was switching bodies. You know, he came back as Hermes.
Yeah, I heard. Right, he speaks about that in his.
He was switching bodies. All right, because they had this type of technology that was super advanced, way more advanced than what we have now.
Could this be the reason of their destruction?
Well, listen, here we're gonna go a little bit. So, a Rushka girl, she had nefarious connections with the Dark Brotherhood. So, Inanna, Enki's other daughter, she knew what Rushka girl was doing. So she went down to the underworld, the way the story go, and she went to war with. Because now Enki is also Poseidon. Okay, so tie in the two. When you get the Poseidon, the trident, because these Anunnaki had technological weapons. For example, Marduk had a weapon called the Hulu, which can manipulate wind. Enki had a trident where he can actually, like you see Aquaman with the trident. This is Enki. He had the ability of manipulating water with technological devices like the trident. All right. And when Arushka girl basically went to war with Inanna, the story goes that Arushka girl basically killed Inanna. But Enki had the ability of rejuvenating her or bringing her back to a quantum rejuvenation chamber. But after seeing what Arushka girl and the Dark Brotherhood did, he realized that information will be put in nefarious hands. So the story goes that he basically flooded Atlantis with his trident, basically to stop the nefarious factions from ascertaining that information from Atlantean science. Basically, it's how the story go. All right, and in that regard. All right, but I mean, there's tons of information.
How did you come across this? How'd you come across that? How'd you come across that?
That's Numi Elish in regards to that story. All right, and the epics of creation. There's tons of stories on the Anunnaki pantheon. Now I got the holy tablets right here. Free Dr. Malachi Z. York. We're gonna get into the beginning portion of the holy tablets where he actually talked about.
Hold on. Woo! Hold on, y'all. I told y'all now. This one here, he get on here.
I'm trying to tell you.
All right, so now
hold on, stranger. Hold on, bro. 1 second. Hold on, take it because you hot now.
My bad.
No, it's good. It's good. But take a deep breath because people in the back, now you know, for some people they like. They spinning right now.
I got you.
No, it's cool though because I love it. I could sit here and listen to this shit all day. But I wanted to pause a little bit.
Okay.
I think Brian, you wanted to say something. But when you was talking about, I love how you broke that down about you tying in a lot of the missing blanks about like where was Atlantis, what was this doing, what was it? So this is a whole realm, right?
Allegedly Morocco and Spain.
Okay. Now many of us or told when we think of Atlantis, it's like a mystery place. And there's a lot of tales about it saying that, it was destroyed because they were highly advanced and they would start doing some genetic manipulation with animals and people and doing all of these different things. And some of the stuff that you were talking about, right? And you talked about this war with these two sisters, right? Of Inanna and Arishka god. And I heard about Arishka god. She was one of the dark goddesses, right? So you said that she started tapping in and doing some stuff with the Dark Brotherhood, right? Who was this Dark Brotherhood? Like, what is it? What are they a part of? It? They were part of the Atlantis. Hold on, before you go on, because I understand when it comes to Anunnaki energy or stories, we have disagreeables,
out, man. We
right?
tonight.
And we have agreeables, right?
Yeah.
So, not all when we talk Anunnakis, everyone isn't, you can look at that from the two brothers, right? You got Enlil and you got Enki. One is agreeable.
See, this is the type of stuff I would normally be doing on my own time, watching on my own time. But Friday Night Live, we're gonna do it together. Let's get it.
is about him
Uh-huh.
him having some type of relations with all his daughters, right?
Yeah.
That story comes from the earth. Enki is the god of the water. So
Of the land, period. The whole land, the land, the water, etc. Like the land and the water.
He's the god of the underworld. Enki is really just a representation of the stars under the equator, the southern hemisphere of stars.
Okay.
And by him, the story of, see, you have to break real from mythology. The story of him messing with his daughters is the earth, and Ninhursag is the land. So water and land plus Utu, the sun god of Samaria,
Okay.
starts agriculture.
I
See,
like that.
you have
I see what you're saying.
see the stories are, like I said, they are zodiac stories for agriculture.
Like more allegorical in the sense you're saying.
Enlil is the sky god. That's the god over the horizon. Anu is the equator. And that's why they say Enki is in the underworld, because he is the southern hemisphere word for stars. So I just wanted to put that in there. I don't think they're aliens. I think this is human knowledge.
Now, I personally, me on the other hand, I believe in extraterrestrial biological entity. I'm one of those people that to tell you I had transcendental states of consciousness where I actually spoke with beings that wasn't in the human avatar. They actually looked at completely different. They had a completely different archetype. There was what you would deem androgynous. They didn't have male genitalia or female. They basically indicated they had wings. Listen, let me tell you a story. It's
a lot of mythology in them.
Hold on. I'm gonna need a whistle. Hold on. But
right,
I'm gonna let you go, Strange. I'm gonna let you go. But
okay, go ahead.
Well, I had
no. But before, one second,
go ahead.
I'm gonna let you go. But let me say this before I let you go. I'm sorry about that. I don't want to cut your wisdom, but let me say this on his behalf. I too believe that there are other beings. We are not. I don't think we're the only ones.
Yeah, he's keeping his knowledge limited, saying mythology. It's like, bro, have you ever accessed transcendental states? Have you ever experienced things outside of this realm?
It downloads, and many of us do tap into different things, and we have different specialties to bring, because I don't think not one person has the whole story.
Definitely don't.
From our genetic codes, you have a story from your code.
For sure, Stacey.
And we all have different codes in our DNA, right? And because we are here to bring the whole story. But we have to take a look at it, because you're just as passionate as he is. And you can't say one is right over the other because of you don't know what part of the story he's bringing. Now, what we need to do is figure out, how does it work for us today? Right? Because I dig what you're saying. See, what's your sign, Brian?
I'm a Cancer.
Oh shit, you my sign.
I almost was born on the summer solstice.
And you were Virgo. So check this out. The reason why I asked this is because now we have different elements. You water, right? And the brother up Strange Wordplay, he's Virgo. He's Earth, right? So the Virgos is a sign. That's Mercury. So you got Mercury in the moon. Of course you're gonna be with the agriculture. Of course you're gonna be with the land. Of course you're gonna be with the ancestors. Of course, that's your genetic code. Mercury is gonna embody all the knowledge from everything and deliver it as a message, right? Now, the thing is, something happened. Somebody came here, right? I don't think we just came up like blades of grass, okay? We're all a part of this story. So let the brother go ahead, Strange Wordplay. You give your interpretation. You break down what you've experienced from your travels.
Well, from my experience, and I understand why some individuals will believe that these entities may not exist. I mean, we always been told you crazy, you wild, you off your that pseudo, etc. Right? But after this crazy experience, I had a crazy transcendental state of consciousness where I actually was communicating with these beings. Now, I'm one of those people that tell you that hallucinogen. The term hallucinogen was coined by an individual named Thomas Brown. All right, and basically alluding to the fact that the things we see are constructs from our subconscious mind, when really in reality we only see 0.0.35% of the light photon spectrum.
Exactly.
We don't see everything around us or hear everything around us. Right. So there's entities in different dimensions. Whether you want to believe in flat Earth, whether you want to believe they inner Earth, I believe in interterrestrials. I believe in all that. I also believe that this world is way bigger than we think. I believe it.
Right. I do too.
It's outside of a firm. I believe it's so much we don't know about that we can't count nothing out. And one thing I also want to say, God, is that we all learning. In this age of awakening, it's going to be, you will have a piece of the puzzle I may not have, and vice versa. We all learning. And in this age of awakening, one of the things we have to become children and childlike in order to learn the truth, because we've been lied to about every damn thing. They didn't tell us the truth about shit.
Right.
So we all got to be like humble and like learning it and getting a piece of the puzzle. Here's what I wanted to say about. Now, Dr. Malachi Z. York, I'm not sure if you're familiar with his teachings, but he teach a lot about extraterrestrial.
I think we all are.
Biological.
We all are. Go ahead.
The thing of the seven thunders. This is what he talked about. I'm gonna read this portion. This very portion of the seven thunders. It said the seven thunders have been recorded by the ancient for thousands of years. By the Hopis, the Yamasi, and the Nawapians have logged these thunders as a sign of the coming of a new planet. Nibiru, the coming of a new era, the sign of the end of a present world ruled by evil, and the resurrection of ancient mysteries of Egypt, Atlantis rising again in the heart of Georgia. He said Atlantis rising again in the heart of Georgia in a place called Wahani. These signs are the signs of the times recorded by the ancient Neteru of ancient Egypt and passed down through time. They are called thunders or the plagues. Now, in these plagues, the Hopis make mention of meeting extraterrestrial beings. Sometimes they also make mention of interterrestrial beings they refer to as the ant people, and they also make mention of these beings that like were reptilian in nature. They call snake brothers. They actually lived underground. And they would come up and they would, like you said, teach them how to agriculture. They would teach them about corn. They would teach them about maize. They would teach them how to grow different things and plant different things. So I agree with you wholeheartedly, but I definitely believe that a lot of that ancient knowledge we got, now we talk about Tataria, we talk about Atlantis. This is ancient extraterrestrial technology that was way millions ahead. Atlantis was about 1 million years ahead technologically than what we are. We can talk about Tataria now too. We can get into that.
Hold on, baby. Hold on now. Let's talk about this extraterrestrial thing, because when we say extraterrestrial, right, that means basically anything or anyone or any being outside of this realm, right? So
extraterrestrial is what it breaks down to.
Right, meaning that they come from outside of Earth.
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So isn't it possible that a lot of these, what we call extraterrestrial, are actually our ancestors?
Yes. Yes.
Right? Because we travel, we're everywhere, right? Whether I'm gonna bring on Elroy in a little bit, because he has maps, because I have a question about these maps. Anyway, these extraterrestrial, when we say extraterrestrials, we're talking about beings that originated outside this planet. Now, a lot of people have the concept that these beings came here and seeded this planet, seeded us, and did different things, right? Some people believe that we came out of different organisms and cells out the water, right? And then we started what they call morphing or transforming ourselves into these different beings, right? The Domo said, with the Domo talk about something that came out the water or out the sky. Every culture has this different connection to what they call God, whether it's extraterrestrial. But when you really look at it, it's connected to something elemental. All right. So I'm going to leave that right there. I'm going to let you go ahead and continue. I just wanted to clarify that with people, when we talk about extraterrestrial, they're always thinking, we're thinking boogeymen, little green Martians and shit like that.
Not.
There's humanoids, there's human beings all over the galaxies. There's human type beings. All right. So I just wanted to just set that, make that clear for people like in the back.
Now I was talking also about Osiris being green earlier, right? And I wanted to just say something about that. Now, the reason why we was greens and blues, like different colors, is because in ancient times, we didn't have iron. Our skin had magnesium in it before it was replaced with iron. And the oxygen in our metallics is rusted out. This is why certain people are born with Mongolian birthmarks and still born with green birthmarks and blue, because in ancient times, we really were blues and bright greens. Okay. We were different luminous colors. All right. We have more magnesium in our skin.
That's interesting. Now, is that something to do with the oxygen too? Because was this dome always here? Or did something what's up in here?
Well, according to ancient texts, the dome was placed over us by the Anunnaki, by the Anunnaki, by different beings that pretty much, it's almost like a prison planet in a sense, to some degree. Damn. It's a hydrogen dome. It's basically
my boy this is gonna be good. Ooh,
now some say you got to go 33 times the speed of sound in order to bypass the firmament. Right, but hold on.
Some say you got to have a genetic
actually indicates.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing: when you mention genetics, okay, they talk about, if you're familiar with Credo Mutua, Credo Mutua was talking about activating the Merkaba. All right, and certain parts of Africa, they still call the goddesses Merkab, because in ancient stories they state that the goddesses literally flew. They state that we inhabited Mars. We was in Mars too.
We was everywhere,
Mars,
baby.
spaces on Mars and all that. And the way the story goes is that we actually flew. We actually activated our Merkaba and actually came over to this planet, but we came from over from Mars, but we inhabited that planet also. This is why Marvin the Martian is depicted in blackface and dressed like a Moor.
Facts. Yeah, he is, isn't he?
He is,
isn't he? Is he? Yes, he is.
Marvin the Martian. This is why they put him. They say he's from Mars. They show us in Hollywood all the time.
Yeah, they do.
Now, Tataria, we're going to talk about Tataria now. Tataria is another remnant of ancient Atlantis, right? We know they have free energy. All right. We know that. You familiar with a level 0 civilization, goddess?
No, talk to me.
So the Carter
is that like 0 point? Is that the same as 0 point?
Yeah, we're a level 0. We're a level 0 civilization due to the fact that we don't have the ability of sustaining energy off our local star. We still using fossil fuel. All right. When where other extraterrestrial civilizations actually use the star, they can actually ascertain energy right out of the ether by using intricate structures that harness energy. They put mercury in certain places on these cathedrals that harness energy and pull ionized particles right from the atmosphere and have the ability of facilitating electromagnetic energy. All right, now the world fairs are evidence of Tatarian technology. If you're familiar with the world fair, they held huge events. All right, that was constructed and put together very fast, literally within 1 to 2 years. All right, and there was a case of which was called a St. Louis Fair, where there was literally more than 1,200 buildings. Family, 1,200. Ain't no way in 1 or 2 years they built all those very technological structures from Tataria with Tatarian technology in 1 or 2 years. There's no way. They still can't mimic some of that technology today. All right.
So what happened?
So and also just to elaborate more on certain things, Tatarian music also was a scientific breakthrough for vibration. All right.
Okay. Is that like
they introduced the bells?
For sure, Tony.
Tataria was the introduction of the bells. The reason they got rid of the bells is because bells have the ability of now certain now this is going to be debatable if you don't believe in reptilians and extraterrestrials, but some alleged the shapeshifters would kind of get distorted out of their shape when the bell would ring. Because the bell has an frequency complex, which is the reptilian portion of the brain that typically is associated with the root and sacral chakra. They said that the bells, that the cymatics will alter the vibration, and they would oftentimes reptilian would be in a human form but shift. They couldn't hold their shape, so they had to get rid of all the bells.
Is that so? So a lot of the bells were held in these cathedrals, and so when you have these new people who are occupying these. Well, the old Tartarian buildings that they renamed cathedrals. They used to have bells all through there.
Man, I gotta
check this out. Also, family, they discovered that sound, when structured properly, can rearrange matter, synchronize brain waves, and even alter human neurological perception. They also designed advanced cymatic musical instruments that had something called the Zolomov guitar. They actually interacted with the body's bioelectric field. All right, so sound waves wasn't only heard, they actually felt the sound waves in a bioelectric field. Not only that, they could stabilize architecture with sound.
Okay, now that makes sense to me. Okay, because now you're talking pyramids and things of that nature. Whereas I believe I have I'm more inclined because I understand the power of sound and frequency, and it can distort as well as put things together. We haven't tapped in. So when you said somatics, like when you could take a speaker and you could put sand on speaker and you play certain frequencies, it starts to create certain sacred geometrical patterns on there. So it's the same kind of frequency, same thing. I totally get that. I'm totally with you on that. Absolutely. Yeah. I can see that. So Tartaria, the frequency, the bells. What happened though?
Well, I mean, there was a great reset. The world, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. The world wars, the Great Fire of London, the 1906 San Francisco earthquake, and even Napoleon bound up in Russia was all planned. All right, what if I told you all of that was planned, meticulously planned to basically eradicate other remnants of Tataria, ancient Tataria? They didn't want us having that, so they would basically create these false events, basically to eradicate remnants of Tataria. Basically.
So let me ask you, who do you think planned this?
I mean, we talking about the 1% shadow government. Now we talking about the dark brotherhood. We talking about the
Okay,
same
now
beings.
let's
Yeah.
unpack
Yeah,
this little
check
bit.
my
Now you
son's
said now
Talking about
let's talk about
beings.
the
trailer.
Oh, go
now.
ahead. I'm
Hold,
sorry.
let me no, it's cool because you get me amped and I'm trying to
Yeah,
be
I'm
cool and shit.
amping myself.
I'm over here eating some sea moss and I'm already lit. But anyway, this dark brotherhood. We talking extraterrestrials.
We talking
Could they be
1%.
stemmed?
Oh, sorry.
Okay, well, this 1% from something. Like who are these dark beings, in your opinion? These dark beings, these dark forces that's coming over here, creating all this disturbances, right? Changing identity, changing the occupancy of Tartaria, creating resets. Who's up there pressing these buttons, in your opinion, and leaving these representatives here in the name of the 1% that's wreaking all this havoc on the planet?
Well, just to piggyback off what the God said, we know the truth. He basically implied that we are basically gods and goddesses. We have superpowers. We are really very powerful beings. Sure. Everything you see in regards to these superheroes are predicated on ancient abilities that our ancestors had. All right. So now, with that all being said, the beings that hijacked this realm, we talking about the cabal. And now you made mention of extraterrestrials, right? Somehow, a lot of these nefarious beings come from the Orion star constellation. All right. Now, I know this is going to sound crazy to some if you're not tapped in with the ETs or whatever.
Bro, just go ahead.
You have Betelgeuse, you have Betelgeuse, Bellatrix, and Rigel. All right. Those are the three beings where the malevolent extraterrestrials derive from. The Greys are also referred to as Ramadians, another name, or the Rigelians. All right. These are beings that actually, they went to war. They're from the Procyon faction of the planet. They're from around what you call Procyon. Now, beings from Procyon is pronounced Procyon. And these beings are what ancient information say is the Greys actually at one point was beautiful. They looked at humanoid at one point. You may have heard the story of Greys are us from the future. You may have heard that.
Shit. Yeah, I did.
Okay. These are actually the beings from Procyon that was they actually had humanoid looks at one point, but then certain technological things that they did distorted their look and actually gave them that look. And this is from tampering with science and doing different things. And this is the same path man is on now, trying to transhumanism, trying to do different things to mess stuff up. Eventually, it's going to lead them on that path. Nuclear war, all of these things actually brought the Greys to where they can't reproduce no more.
Right.
So this is why one of the things that they are obsessed with is eugenic programs and basically cloning and the Cabbage Patch Kids. All of that whole shit derived from the Greys. You heard the story of the Cabbage Patch Kids?
Yeah. Hold on. You fine for one. Hold on, baby. Hold on. I'm trying to keep up with you because you said a couple of things. I got to put a book here, dog ear in. When you're talking about Procyon, right? Is that in the constellation of Canis Major?
Yes.
Okay. Right. And that's in the same constellation with Sirius.
Yes, that's
and all of those planets you're saying are in that same constellation.
Those three now, according to Dr. York's publication, this is Dr. York's publication in regards to Orion. But other publications like the Enumi Elish actually also indicate that these same beings derive from Orion. Now, the Dogon tribe, if y'all familiar with the Dogon tribe, all right, Sirius A is Sigi Tolo, Sirius B is Pol Tolo, Sirius C is called Emiya. All right, the Dogon tribe actually speak heavily on these extraterrestrial beings called the Nomos that actually came down. The same thing with the God said, taught them different things, agriculture, taught them how to grow, taught them how to, all of these beings taught them how to feed themselves. And one of the first things they do is taught them what they actually use with nature. They were very in tune with nature and spiritual beings. All right. Okay. And some of these beings were aquatic in nature. I don't want to talk too much. I know you got the other God coming on.
No, you good. No, you good. Because I'm about to bring him on now because this is a good segue to that.
Okay.
I ran across this video and this is really going to help, tie all of this in a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. I'm sure we all heard of Dr. Delbert Blair.
Yes, right? I love Dr. Delbert Blair.
He said something at one time. And he was like, Earth is one big zoo, right? Everybody here. Right, everybody on this planet. Now, when you talk about the different wars that were taking place, and I'm trying to get to this dark people, right? The reason why I asked you about that, and you talked about these different star systems, there was something. This is all, hypothesis. This is nothing real. So, story goes that there's a race going around because they need. What happened? Oh shit. What happened?
What happened?
We know the truth. Look like he's super intrigued. Come on, Mama T, come with it. Let's go, man.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, well, y'all, you can't see me. I don't know what happened to my camera. Just cut off. I've been having some issues today.
Tap your camera, just touch it. It might react. That's what happened to mine. It was like a little.
What the hell? This is some crazy shit here. Let me see. You know what? I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring on Elroy.
Okay.
And I'm gonna see what I'm gonna fix this camera. See what happened because it just zapped off. So since you can hear me, Elroy, I'm gonna bring you to the stage. This should be right up your alley, honey. You got maps to connect all of this in. But what I was gonna say before I blanked out, I guess they don't want me talking about it, but I'm gonna talk about it in a damn way. Listen, there was something going on, right? So there's a war. There's a group of extraterrestrials or outside beings that need to they're searching for certain resources. Everybody is looking for resources. There's something on planet Earth that we just naturally make this shit. The Earth just naturally makes certain resources. All right. And so this is why you have all these different beings coming here because of the resources. Some people need gold. Some people need oil, and some people need life forces, human beings to feed off us, whether they're draconians, whether they're Anunnakis, whether they're Lyrians, whether they're Greys. Everyone's here. They got a stake in this planet. And the story goes, many of us were made from, no, here's the thing. I'm going to leave you with this. The story goes this. The reason why Earth is not really going to be destroyed the way they think it is, because all the beings that are here have all the genomes and all the genetics from all these extraterrestrial beings. They said we were made like from 22 different races here, and we exist on this planet. So for them to kill us, it's like them killing themselves. So when you said that the Greys are us in the future time, so are the Anunnakis, so are the Pleiadians,
like
so are the Syrians, so are the Orions. And with that, I'm going to bring on my brother Elroy. Come on to the stage, baby. Welcome to the Stellar Merits podcast. I appreciate you. Come on in.
Look like this dude.
And I'm a
peace, God, peace, God.
All right, so introduce yourself.
Bring me on. Appreciate you. You know the truth. Wordplay. What's up, brother?
I say, peace, God.
Yes, I'm here with the gods,
yes,
y'all. I'm here with the gods. All right, sir. So tell people about yourself. Tell people, introduce yourself. Tell them about yourself, and I'm gonna step off for a second, okay?
Let's get it.
Okay, my real name is Leroy. You know, I come from California originally. This journey in the truth for me has been crazy. You know, because you know, I feel like I have an ability to see things, and I can recreate what I see. Just so much. I feel like my power is the ability to see. I feel like that comes from my parents being both deaf and my first language being sign language. So I think that's a big part of my life is my observation.
First language, sign language.
Yeah. So like I said, I appreciate y'all bringing me on. I'm about to get right into it. Y'all hold on to y'all chair. All right. So basically, man, I wanted to cover the original war, which was the Lyran and Orion War. Okay. So the Lyran and Orion War was basically, you had every animal on this planet, every creature on this planet is indigenous to Earth. It's the original creature of everywhere in the galaxy. Like she said, it's a zoo. It's a zoo that houses all the genetics of every creature in the galaxy. So the Lyrians are like a feline race, right? A feline race. And the Draconians, we know about the Draconians. And they had the Draconians and Orions and the Lyran feline race, which was an agreeable species, and yet disagreeables. But what happened was, in order for them to create peace, they gave their king to their queen and created the Anunnaki. That's how the Anunnaki came into existence, was through the Lyran and the Draconian coming together to create the Anunnaki species. The Anunnaki is a humanoid-looking species, but they're not dark like us. You see what I'm saying? They're not dark like we are, and that's the reason. Let me show you here too. Just based off all the movies I've seen, they're actually a lighter complected humanoid, but they're an advanced humanoid from the Lyran and Draconian. And now Lilith is a primordial Tiamat, right? So Tiamat, Lilith, the same thing. She is from the fifth dimension, right? She's not even from this realm. You can't kill Lilith. That's why when they say, oh, Lilith's dead, Tiamat, you can't kill somebody that's not even from this realm. You see what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of black people have magic, and that's where the blackness comes from. It comes from Tiamat. Tiamat's triple blackness, the darkness, where the energy comes, everything comes from. So that darkness doesn't come from the Anunnaki. It comes from Tiamat. That's where blackness comes from. The Anunnaki are just an advanced race that came here and tried to, this is all just a genetic war going on, right? The Lyrans and the Draconians came together because they was fighting each other because of genetics. They said, y'all not fit to rule the galaxy. We're going to fight about it. So they created a species, came together, got the Anunnaki, right? But now you got the Anunnaki and you got Tiamat. Tiamat's still claiming this is her realm. She's still claiming the whole entire realm. And then, so the Anunnaki have to intermingle with Tiamat to create peace so that they can actually rule the whole galaxy. So when they did that, they created 13 tribes, which is one of them is the African American, and a bunch of other different tribes. You got different types of black looking people. You got Klingon looking people, Draconian Klingons. You know what I'm saying? You got Theon looking black people, you know, because their species is mixing together
have dark
to create the perfect species, which is the African American. And that's why the African American is the true rulers of the whole entire galaxy, because we have the genetics of every creature in the world. You see what I'm saying? So all the genetics is in the African American man. Okay, so I'm not sure if y'all can see this. I don't know if it's kind of. Let me see. Okay, so right here you have the center, right? This is where everything originates from, and then you got the Anunnaki lands, which is dark. Remember, because I said there's stories in the Zechariah Sitchin where they came to our land and they couldn't take the sun. They couldn't take the light on our district. So they had to wear their suits the whole time. And that's why Enki and his scribe went to the moon, because they didn't like the sun. That's what it was described in the Lost Book of Enki, if y'all read that one. But yeah, so basically, do you see how this district is dark? And also, what is another dark district? The custodians. And the custodians are the grays that people are talking about. The people from Orion. And the Anunnaki created these people as like workers. And this is who on the
that map is small. Let me try to get it low.
So this is all just a big old giant genetic war. And they had to mix all the species together to create rulers of the galaxy, because they was fighting too much because of it. It was fighting continuously, and we still was fighting over it. Okay, so I wanted y'all to read this, because there's been a lot of resets since the beginning of what it was actually for. But this book right here, I want y'all to get this book. It's called The Dome and Outer Space Projection, and it says The Great Reset of 1728. Okay, so that was the last reset, 1728. And I want to read this to y'all real quick, just so y'all can see what happened. It says, having lost the war against the Anunnaki, the custodians returned to find their most prized human colony in a state of great technological advancement and rebellion. It says, fearing they would lose control completely, the custodians again joined the Anunnaki in a treaty to plan a new reset. And it says the reset was carried out through a great mud flood generated by the Anunnaki pyramids, combined with the controlled explosions to destroy the great cores in the center of Tartarus. So the Anunnaki and the custodians are basically some goddamn haters, right? Because they don't want us to take the rulership of the galaxy. They want to keep resetting us back and keep resetting us, because they don't want us to claim dominion, because we are the remaining children of Tiamat, and this is actually we're actually the rulers of this whole realm. So this is all just basically, and also we have the ability to transcend into the fifth dimension. That's something the Anunnaki and the Greys can't do. That's why they're trying to figure out what's the deal about us, because we can transcend to the fifth dimension and they can't, because our mother, which is where we all come from, Tiamat, is from the fifth dimension. They're not from the fifth dimension. You see what I'm saying? They fell in frequency to their realm. So the Lyrans fell in frequency, and the Draconians fell in frequency when they used to be at the fifth dimension. So they're trying to find their way back to the higher realms. They're trying to find their way back into heaven, but they can't, because they genetically manipulated themselves so much that they had to basically bring it back in with Tiamat. And that's what that war was about. That whole war about Marduk basically coming over there to conquer Tiamat so that they could still have dominion over the galaxy. Because they don't want to give it to us. They don't want to give it to us, man. And just to cover about Tartaria, when them pilgrims came here, we already had cars and airplanes and boats. Everything was already here. Like they say, the courthouses, the prisons, the colleges, even right here, Wiley College. It's been here. They all been here. The courthouses, everything have always been here. We had cars, airplanes, trains, everything, right? So they didn't build anything new. And so the hydrogen is what we use for fuel instead of gas. Everything was water-based. So they ain't built nothing. You know what I'm saying? It was already built, just like Trump said, you know, we already built America. It was already built.
We already built.
You know, I mean, you look at people. You know. Of course, we're indigenous. We're indigenous to America. We're indigenous to the earth. You know what I'm saying? The whole planet. We're indigenous. Right. And it wasn't until people don't understand, you know, this thing about. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mom.
No, I'm listening to you. I'm still trying to get my situation going. But go ahead. Okay,
so the clones, or what they're calling, you know, these Caucasians, were created by the custodians. The custodians created them to basically watch us. So they're and they have the DNA of the custodians, and that's why they don't have them the melanin of Tiamat, because they're not from Tiamat. They're a clone race of the children of Orion, or these Greys, or the Anunnaki. You see what I'm saying? But they don't have the blood of Tiamat in them. And then they was cloning, and it's in this. Everything's in this book. It describes it. They clone them so that they could actually reset the whole population again, because when we get too high and too strong and too aware, they bring us back down. So they had 7 resets total.
They go to number 7 again.
Yeah, man. Is there any questions though? I mean, because I could really go into some more stuff on this book, but I don't want to, you know. Okay, well, let me keep going then. Okay, so let's go back to this map right quick. So when you look at this map here, they got so because like the Orion constellation is not on this map. Or is it? Hold on. Yeah. So the Orion constellation. So everything, like how they talk about all the zodiacs and stuff. So all the zodiacs would be on this map here. So like I'd have to find it, but every single thing will be on this map. Anything outside of the map would be considered like a land that's not known. Where this map comes from is a person sailed past the ice wall and got to, you can't even see really on this thing as much, but they sailed past the ice wall and they got to a land called the Ancestral Republic. In the Ancestral Republic, they gave them the map of this whole, of what they knew, of all what they knew. So this map comes from the Ancestral Republic, which is a breakaway civilization that tried to escape in 1728. They're trying to get out of this realm. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to leave, but they can't, because Tiamat and her people guard the gate, and Leviathan is in this last circle here, and that's in the book. So basically, they're being pumped in, like they're basically being trapped in. They can't leave. You know.
Real
but
quick
another
question,
thing is,
do you know the author of that book, family?
Oh, the author. Let me see.
Yeah, what's that book called? And just get an author and the collective to know.
His author is Claudio Nocili.
Claudio Nocili. And what's the book called?
The Dome and the Outer Space Projection.
Okay, by Claudio Nocili. Okay.
Nocili, and he has also a YouTube channel called Nos Confunding, where they talk about
I'm always interested in this type of information. I never heard about, like, you know, when we talk about the lands and all of that, you know, there's a lot of different debates. What about the Earth, whether it's round, flat, space, no space? And I don't really get into a lot of debates on it really being, I asked the projector multiple times and been to different places, but, you know, none of us could really verify exactly until we go. So I don't really argue too much about it. I just say, hey, it's very interesting. I don't deny it. I don't doubt it. I believe it's very possible. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, that it could be other lands, because they lied about everything. The map and everything is all. Now, let me ask you this. Do you believe that, how does that tie into inner Earth? Do you believe that still ties into inner Earth? And when you go inward, it's still the same way with infinite lands, right? Inward also?
I'm pretty sure every land will probably have some type of inner Earth, but I do know that they say that everything starts here in the middle, and we have a black hole that's in our inner Earth. That's the portal. I explain on my channel. That's the portal to get to the 5th dimension. So this whole thing is a 3rd dimensional realm. It's just a 3rd dimensional realm. You see what I'm saying? So when you go to the black hole in the center, you exit out and go to the 5th dimension. That's where Lilith and Tiamat is from. They're from the 5th dimension. You see what I'm saying?
Now I gotta say something real quick. I heard your video yesterday, and you made I listened to a little bit of the snippet that Mama T played, and you may mention that your ideology, you believe Tiamat isn't a dragon. Now, some of the ancient texts actually always talk about Tiamat being a dragon. They talk about Marduk versus Tiamat.
Hold on.
Now, real quick. Now,
can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Mama T.
Okay. Now, this is my question about Tiamat and dragon. Is there an echo with me? I'm telling you, I had to get my phone. Nothing working.
No, it's not.
Okay, so here's the thing. This is my question about all the text that says Tiamat is a dragon. Mm-hmm. Everybody a human being, but when it comes to her, she's a dragon. I have a problem with that because the challenge that I've been getting in regards to that, this planet was occupied with women long before all of these extra beings came here. So when the Anunnaki came here and they mining and they need this and that and the other, when you said that someone had to marry her, right? They marry her and they started interbreeding, and then we have all these different races. That did something. That triggered a memory with me, an ancient memory, because I was like, there's no way in hell that this was always this way. And no one could come to this planet unless you invite them in. So there's a dome. Many of you say that we're trapped in here, this and that thing. And this is like a prison planet because somebody breached the contract. All right. There was laws put in place here for us. And somebody breached that for greed, jealousy, dominance, same of the things that we're fighting with today. Now, all of these different books are written by all these different men, but no one's asking women in their genetic code or what they're remembering and what's coming down here. But when you said that Tiamat was a mother, because a lot of sisters, we all acknowledge the great mother. We knew that she was here long before all these extra beings came here.
You gotta come from somebody.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, and you had to come out of somebody's womb, absolutely. And then all of these other things started being taking place. Now, when they say she's a dragon, this and that and the other, the same thing that they talk about with Lilith. They demonize Lilith. Those who got a hand of the ancient texts, who rewrote them and remixed them and demonized them. Even in the Holy Tablets, it talks about the war that Marduk has with Tiamat when they came here and they saw the women here. That story of them cutting her up, spreading her all around the sky. Same thing like what they did with Osiris. Cut him up, spread him all over the earth. So you're telling these stories over and over again, right? But I always have an issue that when it comes to that divine feminine great mother, she's some kind of animal. They removed her from the God, Father, and the Holy Spirit. She's a dove. Now, when it comes to Tiamat, she's a dragon. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't dragons, right? And when you look at it, there's connections because you have people that resemble serpent people. You got tribes that call themselves jaguar tribes. You got people who resonate with falcons, right? So these are totems that we use to connect us to the nature of that animal. So I just wanted to say that when it comes to us talking about Tiamat, because from my memory, when I'm feeling, somebody came here, they made an arrangement. When they saw these women here, they was like, damn, fuck the gold. We want a little bit more than that. Now, I'm not saying that men didn't exist in the galaxy, but on planet Earth, it was inhibited by women first. So when you showed that map and them traveling in your video earlier, Elroy, coming over here, and they got with Tiamat, something happened. There was a war. I don't know if it is. There's always these two brothers on the scene in all different paradigms, in all different cultures. There's these twin brothers that got problems with each other. Normally, they could be fighting over a woman. And I'm gonna just pause right there and let y'all continue.
Okay, good observation.
Now, as far as the TMI thing, it is interesting, and I agree with you saying. They do try to take the woman out of the picture.
I wanted to say real quick that can y'all hear me?
Interesting.
Hold up. Hell yeah, one at a time. First, I want to hear from Brian. You were wanting to say something, brother. Go ahead.
Okay, Tiamat is a representation of the great mother, right?
Sure.
Mother goddess.
One of them.
It's one of them. Okay.
Uh-huh.
That is the mother. See, what people don't understand is why all these cultures have this mother goddess teaching is because that comes from the original culture of star alignments. The Pleiades has a lot to do with the mother goddess. So when you put Sirius, which is Haru, and you put Osiris, which is Orion, and you put the Pleiades star system together, that is an immaculate conception. That is the mother goddess.
That's interesting.
The child, and you have the see those three entities are the entities that all of these cultures are writing about. The Great Mother has something to do with the creation story.
That's a fact, DJ.
Right? The Virgin Mary is called the Virgin Mary because that is Virgo, people. We got to understand that all of this stuff go together. One culture put that star alignment together with the Sirius, the Orion, and the Pleiades star system. That's the Great Mother. Like I said, Haru and Osiris. Different cultures have those three different deities, but all of that is the star alignment of the summer solstice, right? So that's why the Great Mother is always in these stories, because it's the same teaching with different names and deities and different so-called entities from other places. So why is all these entities teaching all these different people the same thing? That's the part of the knowledge.
Yeah, it's kind of like different languages.
It's a basis to this teaching. If it's so many entities coming in and teaching everybody, it'll be different knowledge. This the same knowledge, people.
Absolutely. Just told in many different ways, right? Exactly. But when you're talking about the constellations and they're saying that with the alignments, because maybe, just maybe, that's where they originated from.
Okay. 7 sisters, Pleiades star system.
Yeah.
That's all cultures are talking about the same thing. That has something to do with the Great Mother.
Okay,
and they got something to do with
do my best to remember. You might have to remind me
of vegetation. But they got something to do with the Earth Mother is birthing. She shows out during the spring. All this stuff still go back to agriculture. That's what I'm
to nature.
To nature.
Exactly. To nature. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Go ahead. Hey, what were you going to say, sir?
So we was talking about the 7 sisters and stuff. The 7 sisters from the Pleiades. That stuff's real too, because the 7 sisters actually sent Toph to Earth. You saying to actually do what he was doing, and nobody ever talks about that. That's cold. You talking about that? We the 7 sisters. What's we talking about the Tiamat. So basically, Tiamat. I think that Tiamat is the mother of the dragons, right? She's the queen of the dragons. She wasn't a dragon. She was a queen of the dragons. And the dragons are actually around the mountain ring that surrounds our Earth, right? So all the dragons live in the mountain ring, and she's the queen of the dragons, right? And that's where that's where that comes from. She's not an actual dragon, because they had to marry them to have children. I feel like if she was a dragon, it's something that she could actually transform into and transform into back into her normal form, because she's not a third dimensional being. From my perspective, I think she's a 5th dimensional being because of the stuff she was able to do.
Did you ever see Game of Thrones? So the queen that they had wound up killing at the end. She was known as one of the Queen of Dragons. If you remember that, the one with the blonde hair.
She was the Queen of Dragons.
Yeah, interesting. You said that.
The house of Targaryen.
Yeah,
Targaryen. Yeah. That's so funny. It sounds like
exactly. Yeah. Okay, Strange, what you got, baby? Because I know you about to unload on us right quick. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say something about the Pleiades. It's an interesting theory about a planet called Planet Chemo, where it's a planet full of ladies. You may maybe in that book they may talk about a world called Kima, Kimah.
You was telling me about that the other day.
if you look at the word Pleiades, you see the word ladies literally in Pleiades. All right. And the way the story goes is that ladies, women, the feminine, divine, the divine feminine actually derived from Pleiades. And that's where the word ladies actually did derive from. It's from Pleiades. And they say that the Hathors come from that planet. All right. Now Hathors was the personification of the bullhead. They had to stay with solar. They had the solar disc there with the horns that was there. It was the Hathors. All right. And that they allege, according to certain texts, that there was a whole planet full of women. Now I could go a little crazier and say there was also a planet of male beings that was almost the personification of what Hellboy looked like, which are Minotaur looking beings. And the way the story go in the text, according to this book in Dr. York's publication, it's a wild story of these beings that are actually maniacal beings, right? That actually go to war over these women. They want to marry a woman from that planet. This is how the story go. And these beings they came to the planet before, allegedly, and when they came to the planet, they were so menacing looking. They modeled the concept of Satan after these beings. The concept of Hellboy with the horns and all that are allegedly beings from a planet from Aldebaran or Aldebaran. I'm not interested. I know it's out there, but there's so many beings.
Someone says I have an echo, and I don't want to have the echo. Do I have an echo?
It's like she got 2 mics on. It's not an echo, but we
don't hear one.
Her talking from 2 mics.
Someone had a question in the chat, and they wanted to know more about the Great Reset. Like, when was the last Great Reset?
All right, so let me. Oh, go ahead. You could touch on it. You said it was 7 resets. I don't want to. Go ahead. You want to touch on the 7 resets?
No, I didn't say that. I said when was the last reset?
No, I'm talking about the guy. I'm talking about the
the brother. Elroy. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ben.
Oh, the resets. Yeah, they said that there was 7 resets here. They said the first one was in 1189 BC. And then it goes to the last one, which was 1728. And that was the war against the custodians and the Anunnaki and the intervention of the giants that came and try to help pretty much the Ancestral Republic to basically, they came there to help the Ancestral Republic to try to escape, but they couldn't escape. So they basically pushed them back in, and now they're stuck outside the ice wall, right outside the ice wall. They're right outside the ice wall. But they can't leave, and so that's what they're trying to do right now. They're trying to basically figure out how to get out this whole district because they want to leave. Because they know that this realm is going to be given back to the original rulers of this land. You know what I'm saying? Really, the rulers of the galaxy, and they don't want to be here for that. They don't want to be here for that.
Now, to touch on my perception of the Great Reset, Tataria was a reset. The whole Mud Flood was a reset. The flood that transpired in regards to the water flood that we hear about, the Epic of Gilgamesh, are another reset. But the Great Reset, the World Wars, all the World Wars was resets. All right. I mentioned the Great Fire of London in 1906, another reset. All right. San Francisco earthquake, another reset. All of this is associated with remnants of Tataria and ancient civilizations that they want to eradicate any proof or evidence of. Remember, I told you in physics, seeing is touching. If you see something in physics, you're touching it. So once you see those structures and everything, it does something to your DNA. Now, when we talk about Tataria and we make mention of sound, Mama T made mention of painted glass and things of that nature. And ancient Tataria, that had a whole crystal home that you could play music in. In a crystal, they got rid of the crystal building, but the building was so powerful, it can heal you just by being in it. They played cymatics in the building. It was all quartz crystal. And they play cymatic frequencies in the building, and it will heal you like almost instantly. People manifest, they neurons in their brain was firing faster and all that just from being in an environment.
Nice.
So they couldn't have us exposed to those cymatics because they heal us and they actually introduce us to certain primordial memories. We might mess around and remember how to build a ship that move faster than light. We might remember how to open up stargates and things of that nature with the right frequencies. So this is why they got rid of bells and certain cymatics.
Hey, Mama T.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
But another thing I wanted to touch on that, Mac.
I wanted to touch on that, what you were saying about the cymatics and stuff. Like, I really feel like they was doing that with the sound frequencies, healing us and stuff like that. And I also feel like they was hitting us with the magnetic field, the pulse magnetic field. Because with the pulse of magnetic fields, melanin actually activates from pulsed electromagnetic fields. And what it does is because let's say, for an example, just to explain real quick, you got like a Gauss, right, of a magnet that's super strong, and that Gauss level's 3,000, right? If you put it on your skin, it won't do nothing because that's not how melanin activates. I was trying to explain this on my story. Melanin activates by magnetic energy showering like this through at high levels of magnetic Gauss, the power of Gauss. So basically, I feel like the you were saying too, the cymatics. I feel like that magnetic energy was heavily present too, and I feel like also there's no bathrooms. There's no bathrooms in Tartaria buildings. None of them.
Wow.
We didn't even. I honestly feel like we didn't even eat anything. Like we literally.
He was amongst giants too.
That's another thing they were
talking about. That's not what. What's we know the truth. He ain't gonna agree with that.
No. Back in the day, I think we did, but as technology increased, I feel like we stopped. That's what I mean.
Gotcha.
Strange. That's a great breakdown on the resets. That's a great breakdown. The Tartaria was the last reset, and that's a great breakdown on the bathrooms in Tartaria buildings. Those buildings are very spiritual places. That is not a place of living quarters. You go there to be spiritual. You go there to connect with nature and the earth and the ancestors. I want people to study some some solid information about Tartaria. 1933 Chicago. They said, now this is written in all type of books, all type of history, that it was some type of solar panels or energy panels in this building in Chicago, and they used the star Arcturus. The photons come off the star Arcturus and charges up these panels, and this building is grounded. So the photons from the star Arcturus lit the building up during the World's Fair in 1933 in Chicago.
I remember that.
Yeah.
They actually done this in the people's, like right in the people's face to let them see it. And those buildings, like you say, those buildings was collecting energy all day and all night because photons come off the sun and stars. Right. So some kind of way these buildings were connecting photons. And this is a true story about the Tartaria building because they actually done this in Chicago. And they got pamphlets with Arcturus powering up buildings in Chicago, and they lit up strange lights in 1933. So I want people to study that.
I seen your video on it. It was very informative too. I recommend everybody to check his video out on TikTok. He get into real good in-depth information. He showed the Arcturus and all that. I watched that video. Nice. Now, here's another thing a lot of people don't know about. One more thing.
Go ahead, my bad. Explain this up. With Ben Franklin, I just want to add this on there. It's a part of the knowledge of that. Ben Franklin put out some type of mythology if he flew a kite with a key and got free energy or electricity, right? But really, that is symbolism for the Bootej star constellation, because the Bootej is called the kite of celestial stars,
right?
And the brightest star in Bootej is Arcturus, the same star that lit up the buildings. So that's the real knowledge of a lot of free energy comes from the Bootej star constellation.
Wow! So all that time we got free energy right there. That's really
free energy right there, the Arcturus star. Yeah.
Wow!
Oh, wow!
That's crazy.
That's what's up. Do you think we'll ever get back to this, or do we have to wait for this great war? So before we go to the next question, someone in the chat, they wanted to know what is a reset.
What is a reset? A reset is when the powers that be remove all information or reset us from ascension. They reset us from ascension technologically. When we're making technological advancements, basically not needing fossil fuel, having the ability to ascertain certain things with more technological prowess, they reset us back and bring us back to the Stone Age, basically.
Damn.
You know? Now, another sign of ancient Tartarian technology is something called star forts, all right, which was geometrically precise formations found worldwide, all right? There was very intricate star-shaped designs that was seen all the way from Europe, North America, and Asia. All right. Typically, there was military devices, but after further observation, they found out that these devices actually were energy hubs. All right, they harness actual energy, and they look like military devices, but all around they're energy hubs. They really harness energy. And guess what? The Deletes still use ancient Tartarian technology. They still get free energy. They still use it.
I believe that. I would definitely believe that.
Yeah, exactly.
So You were saying before. I'm sorry. Did you want to say something else?
No. Last thing I want to say is all the churches, all the Vatican churches, all the cathedrals are all Tatarian technology, and what they do is they keep mercury embedded in the thing, and that mercury is what actually allows them to facilitate more ether from the atmosphere. All right, and it's all the churches, all the cathedrals, all the Vatican, all of those are they have free energy. All of those are Tatarian technology that they couldn't with the ball eradicate. This is why Tataria was more than just Eurasia and Eurasia. That shit was everywhere around the world.
You know what? Everywhere I go, I see these buildings, right? Even not only just throughout the United States, even when I went and traveled through Mexico. If anyone ever went to Mexico City, this is you find the largest Tartarian buildings there. They'll take up like city blocks. And then they're in all the capitals of all their states and cities. And it's like, no way you guys built this. And they'll say like there's Spaniard architecture or whatever. Like you can tell what was built afterwards. But when you see those, and they look the same everywhere, even the city I'm in now, I'll drive by. They'd be either they're large, monstrous, monstrous, or they are just small buildings, but they have the same kind of peaks, the same steeples, the same antennas at the top, and the brick layout. They're all similar, and they don't look like anything else that's around. Right. So, of course, they're ancient. So, okay, this is a great question. Where the hell these people come from? Okay, because if we were here, we had this ancient civilization. How did they get here? There's a theory that said they didn't get here until 1492. And all the stories and histories that they're teaching us, they're fabricated, right? About their stories and their history, that they actually landed here in 1492. Not just landed in America, but landed on this
everywhere
earthly realm.
And you know what?
I have that.
I believe that, fam. In conclusion, with all of this stuff that we've been going over, I believe Atlantis, Tataria was really all over the whole damn globe, and they reset everything and said it was just in certain parts, just to try to distort our original perception of how advanced we really was as an entirety. That's my
okay. My observation is you talking about YT people, right?
Or let's just say,
yes, they were here before 1492. That's a fact. Those people were schooled by another people of that area, which I call Moors. A lot of the teachings start with that area of the country, and then those people came up and actually, pushed the Moors out, but then they came here. So what people don't understand is a lot of teachings that come from that culture goes into their culture. They perfected it and brought it over here, and they lay it on thick over here. See, that's what people don't understand.
So here's the thing, right?
I want to touch on that too.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna let you do it when we talk about the Moors, right? So, for the story goes, for over 700 years, they ran Europe, right? Yeah. And they bought certain people out of the Dark Ages, and they educated them, right?
Yeah.
That means that the Moors, the languages over there. So when I used to say, well, what language did the Lord speak? The Moors speak, because when we go to these different areas, even just through the Caribbean, through Mexico, it's Spanish, it's French, right? Or it's Italian, right? So are they the originators of this language? And how did they get overthrown by some people that they've educated, right? How did that happen? Go ahead, Elroy, you take that one.
Okay, what's it called? So basically, the Caucasian people come from the Caucasus Mountains of Asia Minor. That's where the word Caucasus Asian comes from. Caucasian. Okay, so this is where the origins of the Neanderthals actually from. If you actually go to the mountains of Ukraine and the Caucasus Mountains, you'll see that there's caves still there for the Neanderthals. Those caves are in the walls of the mountains. because they was placed there, like almost as if somebody built it for them to live there. Like the Flintstones. The Flintstones, they start off in the mountains. You see what I'm saying? With the dragons and all this and that there. But just to cover about I want to talk about two things. The 1492 thing, you're right. You said that it came. Rashad Jamal was talking about how they came from nowhere.
Yeah, I heard him say
it's because they did come from nowhere. They came from outside the ice wall, Ancestral Republic. That's what they talk about in the book. How majority of the people had passed away on the earth, so they needed to create more people like them, clones. So they created the clones on the Ancestral Republic and brought all the ashes over to everywhere. They started scattering them around to basically reset the whole earth. Now, another thing I want to talk about, which is crazy as hell, is that they added 1,000 years to the timeline. So now check this out. Check this. This is really gonna trip you out. Now they added 1,000 years to the timeline. You know what I'm talking about? Wordplay, right? Okay, so what I'm saying is that it's not 1492 that Cortez came to America. It's 492. Now check this out. Check this out. Okay. Since you took 1,000 years off the timeline, you got to condense all the history into one, and watch how that stuff fits right into place. So basically, so check this out. Rome fell when? 500 AD. The same time the Dark Ages happened in England, 500 AD, right? And Cortez invaded America when? 8 years before the fall of Rome. You see what I'm saying? You see how all the stuff was happening at the same time. Rome was here, England, America was here. It was all happening at the same time. You see what I'm saying? But what they did was they added 1,000 years to separate the history. See, King Arthur was in 450 AD. That's what King Arthur was. He was a black man.
I'm not sure.
King Arthur was 450 AD. So you mean to tell me?
I'm not sure, Corey.
40 years later, Cortez will come invade America? See, you gotta take 1,000 years.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's not 1805. It's 805. So it's not. They added 1,000 years to history to confuse us, so we can separate the history. But if you take 1,000 years off, you got to condense all the wars and everything into like almost 1,000 years. Everything.
Wow.
Let me drop something right quick. Drop some gems. See, we don't put the ancient culture into the history. We always start at a certain point in the middle, or 3/4 down the line, or we got to start at the beginning. This is the way I look at it, and like I say, people might not believe my view of it. Everything comes from the earth. We downplay earth so much, like it's just a piece of rock with no civilization, and we just downplay it. Everything comes from outer space. The human body is made up of damn near 100% of earth matter, right? Earth can create different beings from and different features. Earth can create us. Earth can create YT people. Earth can create a lizard type person. Earth can create. That's why these things are flying from under the water. They're not coming down on Earth. They are coming out of Earth. Earth can create different beings. We have to stop taking that out of the knowledge. And like you said, and I heard you say something genius, Mama T. You said the water was received, and these single cell organisms start popping up with some type of being.
Yeah,
that's what I think happened.
It was called protozoa.
These other beings came way after us, and they were the evolution story of the ape. That really happened, but that's not my story. That's somebody else's story. Because when you go to the Epic of Gilgamesh, it's talking about the wild man coming out of the cave, and somebody is teaching him about the star lamb and teaching him the knowledge of Earth, the nature, the ancient culture's knowledge. That's why they say the lady taught Enki, the wild man. If Enki is an alien, why is they calling him a wild man? See, the real story is Enki is coming out the cave, and somebody is teaching him some grand knowledge from the old culture. Go read it. It's in the Epic of Gilgamesh now. Go read it.
That's interesting. So, are you saying?
Yeah, that's what I was kind of going over that. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask this, and I'm going to let you go, Elroy. Are you saying that everything, this is the starting point of it all, and then it all spanned out from here? Is that
I'm
what you
saying
think?
a certain people was a natural, all the way 100% natural to the earth, and they are they are the Atlanteans, the ancient culture, because they was here longer than everybody else, and they have more knowledge. See what we just thinking this stuff is just popping up. Mounds, pyramids, temples, and Tartarian buildings are an evolution of a knowledge of a people. These are not different people. These are not different This is one group of people getting smarter and smarter and smarter, and the other people are not as knowledgeable as these people, and they're making these people's knowledge into gods and deities over time.
I got
a question for you, family.
Okay.
Are you familiar of the war in Nuremberg? Have you heard about that?
Yeah, I heard about that before. Yeah.
That was basically that was something to do with Tartaria. Now they alleged that it was 1561, but we know what happened before that. But what they said, Mama T, is they seen spaceships and all that blasting shit up. You ask who reset it? I personally believe, based on the story of Nuremberg, is people that actually drew pictures of what they seen. They seen ships, UFO type ships, spraying lasers down and all that. Now we seen what happened in Hawaii when they had the ability of literally, I believe they use direct energy weapons, where they can literally, and you heard about people putting hang blue on their roof, and blue actually repels laser technology because there's something special about blue, the color blue. And this is why in hoodoo, they use Hank blue. They paint their windowsills with Hank blue and things of that nature, and why the evil eye is blue to repel what they call blue hags. So I said all that to say this. They stay, just like they use direct energy weapons to actually eradicate Tartaria and cause the mud flood. I believe that now here's the thing. With the technology they have with CERN, do you believe that they could do a reset now without having to change anything on a molecular level, without having to come down and change anything? Do you believe now they can just fire a large hydrogen collider and actually create some form of Mandela effect and now shift timelines? Or
they've been doing that. They've been trying. They've been doing that. Way they alter, because we saying they ain't changed the timeline since Tartaria, but for all we know, they probably have a new way to reset us. They're tinkering. I believe they've been tinkering with it. But I also think that they also have a timeline that is finite. Like they can't go past a certain point. They understand that everything evolves and everything changes. So if we're talking about precessions of the astrological signs, when people say we're all going into the age of Aquarius, right? We're all going into another age. There's certain frequency. These are the resets. This is in my opinion of it. When we switch and go to another age, we change over. The energy changes, the frequency changes, the rulership changes. So there are people who understand that and know that, and they are tinkering with technology to change timelines, to slow down timelines, because once we shift, their rulership is over. That's my
this whole round going to the fifth dimension.
It has to. Now, this is what I really wanted to ask you, Elroy, because this is going to tie into a lot of things. And I hear echo. I don't know if y'all hear it. If it's not, then I'll just deal with it. That map that you show, can you hold it up?
Yeah, we need that map
because I want to ask you a question.
We've seen it before, but we need our own copy.
Solo.
I've seen that.
All right, y'all see this map? I mean, this map, right? Now, is this a reflection?
I'm about to tell her. I'm about to say it in the chat.
Or is this beneath on this realm? Basically, is this a flat Earth?
Okay, so basically, the lowest part of the Earth, the lowest part of this whole thing is Earth, our realm. Our realm's the lowest. That's why we can see all the stars. Levels. Yeah, they're on different levels than us. That's why we can see the stars in their realm, because their whole entire realm is above our realm. So when you're looking at Mars, so you can see the star Mars is because Mars is up a level above us.
Right.
So we're looking at the sun in their district above us. So all that's why all the stars are above us. But if you go to their district, it'll look like our sun. It's not going to be above you if you go to their district.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
That's what I always wanted to ask when I see some maps similar to this, is because a lot of maps like that, people are saying, oh, this is a flat Earth. This is a what do they say? It's an infinite plane, and we do not go beyond. We don't go above anything, right? So when I saw that, I said, but they're all circular, like spheres.
This here is just the known lands that was given to the traveler by the ancestral public. There is more lands outside of this circle. This is just what's known.
Are these lands or all these planets?
These are what these are like planets, like, but I call them districts because it's not
That's
a planet.
my point, right? Because they're circular, right? And they're spheric. Some people believe we're on a flat earth, some people not, but we can see stars. They'll say they're fake. But when you show that map and it's like how it's spliced, I guess they call that a transverse looking, how it looks, the view of it.
Right.
This is like how the map of the United States that the United Nations have, right? It's like a flat map, but we're depicting it to be a flat earth, but we're just looking at it from a bird's eye view, I guess.
A bird's eye view, and it's stacked like this. It goes down like that. So when you go to Mars, it goes up.
I got
and you go to Jupiter, it's even higher. So that's how you're looking up at the only thing you can see is their star. You can't see their district.
So what you're saying about we're multi-levels, right?
Right.
You ever see the galactic center? How it looks?
Yeah.
Right? It's like a spiral. I wish I had a picture of that. It is said that where our particular galaxy is one of the tail spirals at the end of the galactic center, right? And the galactic center moves. It constantly rotates. And there's a center of it, and then it sprawls out like, damn, I gotta get
water. Like water.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a picture of this because I want y'all to see. We need
a picture of that map.
And tell me what you think about this that I'm gonna say. Let me see if I can find. Okay, this is perfect. I'm gonna show this right here. Come on, show this thing. I ain't trying to pay for this. Why can't I show the whole picture? All right, I'm going to share the screen. Perfect. This is good. I'm going to share the screen, and I want you to see this image. And tell me if you can see this image.
Yeah, we can see that.
Can you see the image on the screen? I think hold on. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now, it is said that the Earth is on, or our galaxy is somewhere in one of these tail ends, right? And this continues to churn, just like the yin yang sign. Energy goes in, energy goes out, energy goes in. So when we talk about going to the fifth dimension, Earth is very important because of the alignment that it's to certain vortexes or black holes and things in that. So when you ask the question about CERN, do you all believe that they're trying to change timelines, flip time, by using this machinery or this technology? Mm-hmm. Of course they are.
Yes.
Because if this is let's say we're an anchor, like you said, Elroy, we're the lowest form, right? Lowest form, tail end. Who's to say? Tomato, tomato, right? But when you look at these swirls, are they swirls, galaxies, or do you think they're ice walls?
That's pretty good. I like that.
I know I was gonna get you with that. I was dying to ask you this one.
or that could just be the representation of what the map is. It you know what I mean? Because they just be lying about everything anyways.
Exactly. All right, I'm gonna show you another picture. That's really interesting.
Yeah, they just be lying about the whole maps. So if that is the case, then this will be the galaxy then, on just without looking through all the dust and how it's, you know what I mean? And it's basically like it'd be set up like that because everything is swirling because it's water everywhere.
Everything is swirling.
Swirling
because it's swirling everywhere. Are you familiar with this? Can you see this image, or are you still the same? I can't show it. I need a big picture. The Temple of Dendera. Are you familiar with that zodiac?
I think I've heard you talk about it before.
I used to look at this for hours, and I'm trying to find a big picture so you can see. This was the original zodiac found in Hathor or Het-Horus Temple, right? Let me see if they're gonna give me a big picture. All right, can you see this?
No, we cannot.
Can y'all see what I see?
No.
You can't see. Okay, hold on. Let me stop sharing. I should have had a presentation ready for you guys.
I know. I feel like I should have had.
I didn't know we was going here. Hold on, let me see if I can find this thing. All right, here we go.
Okay. See what's up.
Here we go. Let me show that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you see that? If you look closely, this is making the same depiction of the galactic center.
Yep.
It goes in the swirl. So our ancestors mapped out the galactic center long before we did. It starts here, and it goes in the same swirl. Now this depicts the constellations above us and the deacons and the cardinal points that are held up by women, which you call equinox or solstices.
Yep.
Right? So all that to say, that's why I asked, you think they're ice walls, or are they the energy centers that move along the constellation? And we progress from sign to sign to sign. Now, brother, we know the truth now.
Yeah.
They are aligning because farmers almanac, they have to go by the alignment. When the plant, when to do certain things, when the moon is in certain signs as well, not just equinoxes and solstices, right?
So
because
my great grandma taught me.
I'm sorry.
That's what my great grandmother taught me. Quarter moon, half moon.
Honey, because the women know this stuff. Anyway, when we're planting, we're going about the movement of the moon. Now, the moon is so important to us when we do this. I'm going to ask you guys this question. Why do you think they want to get rid of the moon? And is the moon fake? Is it real? Or is it a satellite? What's going on?
For me personally, the moon is real.
Because you're a Cancer like me.
The moon, it wouldn't be no knowledge without the moon. It wouldn't be no knowledge without the sun or the moon. So the moon had to be around a long time. That's what the whole Sumerian teachings is about. Moonalam is that's what Thoth is about. Moonalam is wisdom of Moonalam is all of these great teachings come from the moon. So the moon is real.
The real
moon is in ancient culture, which they call Hebrew teachings. You know, Hebrew comes from another, you know, they say that word comes from somewhere else, but I'm going to say so people can understand what I'm saying. The moon taught Hebrew teachings of different things about nature and planting and harvesting, and the moon goes right along with that teaching of the moon alignment. So I think the moon is real and is very powerful, and the movement of the moon is really 90% of the knowledge that we are really going through.
So why do you think they want to get rid? Have you heard that? They want to get rid of the moon, honey. They say it's a satellite. They kidnapping children. They sending them to the moon. They got bases on there. Now, I think they do got some kind of bases on there because of that woman. Shout out to I Am God Frequency. I don't know if you're in the building. The woman that they found on the dark side of the moon looked just like my friend Lisa. Y'all don't know who she is. Go check her out. But anyway, what do y'all think about that?
Yeah, we know.
I personally, if you ask me, it's a lot of people that believe the moon is a hollowed out draconian observatory with bases, and that our real moon was hijacked by malevolent reptilians that wanted to basically subjugate the realm and basically remove the matriarchal, because the moon is the personification of divine feminine energy. Yes, so it's people, I'm gonna just say allegedly. It's people that basically indicate, it's stories like in this book here in Holy Tablets, also individuals like Alex Collier that actually indicate that our moon at one point was hijacked and removed by draconians, by malevolent extraterrestrials. Also, on top of it, another way that they removed the divine feminine energy is by eradicating all the female trees. Is another way that they took off the divine feminine energy off the planet. So it was magic that went into hijacking his realm. It was some magic that was also induced, and it wasn't easy to basically hijack our realm. They had to do things like knock our crystal towers down. We had large crystal towers that stretched up to the ionosphere. We had a lot of technological advancements, and again, Atlantis was a representation of that, as well as Tataria, and there's other civilizations we probably have no knowledge of. Right? We talk about Atlantis and Tataria, but who's to say there's other civilizations that we had no knowledge of that was more technologically advanced than we even have knowledge of? But you know, it's a lot of theories in reference to the moon. Sometimes it even look like a hologram. It don't even look solid sometimes. Then other times the moon is gone for days at a time, where you don't even see the moon
because it's in a dark phase. But let me ask you this before. I'm sorry, I'm gonna let you go.
No, go ahead.
Isn't the moon responsible for magnetic energy on the planet, right? So if it's fake, what about the connection the moon has with women, their cycles? If it's fake, it still has an effect on us somehow, some way. It has an effect on the waters, the tides, the waters in our body, right? Especially those who were born under certain zodiac signs, water signs. When the moon is waxing or waning, it has an effect on the psyche and on the body, as well as the diet. Shout out to the astrology doctor, if she's in the building. She can really tap into this. So I have a hard time thinking or believing in that it's fake, because they say the sun is fake too.
Well,
right?
Hear me out. Not that it's fake. Not as fake. Not 100% fake, but it's not 100% organic. Not 100% real. I'll give you an example. Fake food, for example. We could talk about a candy bar, for example. It tastes great, good as hell. You taste it, you love it. It's rewarding your reward center of your brain, but it's fake food. Just because it tastes good and it make you feel good doesn't mean it's good for you. The moon can make you feel good and give you all this energy, but it's pros and cons to everything. Yeah, I mean, just you know what I mean. But I mean, again, I get, like I said, allegedly. I can't confirm or deny whether our moon was hijacked as an interesting theory in certain ancient texts that basically indicate it. And then when you look at the divine feminine energy and how it's not prevalent, it make a little bit of sense. If the moon was removed and the female plants and all that, kind of make a little sense to why the female energy is no longer as prevalent and dominant on a planet, and how these malevolent forces was able to come in and hijack it.
Are you saying there's no female plants on the planet?
Nah, it's a lot of female plants, but most of them has been eradicated. This is why you can't just walk up to a plant in most cities and just get an orange or apple out the tree and eat it. They go hard as hell to make sure that the female plants aren't for the homeless. They in the
United States.
In the United States.
Because you don't
real
land of Egypt.
Let me throw in one thing. We gotta look at it.
It's a good chop up right here.
I've seen videos with two moons, right? I know all y'all have probably saw video with a moon over here on this side and a moon on that side.
Facts.
Now, what if one moon is real and they create a fake moon to throw off what the moon really does to the planet and to the people, and to the knowledge and to the star alignment? If you throw the moon, you throw a fake moon in the west that's supposed to be in the east, it throws off the ancient knowledge of our culture. I've seen videos with two moons that can throw us off. One hologram moon and one moon.
Because we off over here.
Because we off. So, and you just said the moon goes into a dark cycle, and you were exactly right. What if they throw a crescent moon up when the moon is really the real moon is the dark cycle, and it throws off everything?
It does, because the position of the moon has changed, because you can see normally the crescent moon is either on the left side or the right side.
Exactly.
Sometimes you look at the moon, it's making a smiley face.
Exactly.
Or a frown.
And that's not natural. And that's
not natural at all. In my all my life, and I'm gonna go up there. I don't remember seeing the moon making a frown or a smile.
Y'all see that video with that face next to the moon? It's a video where this guy zoomed in and there's literally an entity next to the moon.
You think that's CGI?
I don't know, but with all that, sometimes I wonder if the CGI was induced to make us start questioning the things that we're going to really start seeing.
You got a point there.
I wanted to talk about what you were saying, Wordplay, earlier. You said that the type 0 civilization right?
Yes.
And the type 1 civilization would have to harness the power of the sun, right?
Yes, we have the ability of harnessing energy from our local stuff.
Right.
No,
so basically, according to what I've read, they say that the moon didn't always used to be there, and that the custodians actually towed the moon in from their district into our realm to basically harness the power of our second sun.
I can see that.
So and that's why it glows. That's why it glows, because it's around a sun, and it's basically just like it's and you know, because custodians are a type 1 civilization.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So like on this map here, it says that they told. Let me see. Let me get it better. They told.
Hold on, I'm gonna give you a solo shot here, young man.
How we get this map, man?
Okay, so they told the moon in
somewhere before this map,
but this book here where they talked about. They told the moon in from here into our district right here, and then basically it's called a Dionosphere, and the Dionosphere went around our sun, and they actually show that on Moonfall, because in movies they tell you everything that's happening.
Moonfall is a great movie.
I gotta go watch that movie. They have to tell you the truth.
Let me not even say nothing.
Yeah, they're telling you the truth.
They're showing some Anunnaki knowledge on there.
You see what I'm saying? And they capture
there's a sun in the earth.
And there's a sun in the earth, the black sun. The black sun is in the earth. But I want to read this to you right quick.
Oh no. I'm thinking about Rebel Moon. Rebel Moon is some Anunnaki stuff.
You see how the custodians are the ones that took down the trees. The people from the Orion group, and the Anunnaki are some haters, man. I'm trying to
no, I agree. The Anunnaki are haters.
Let me just read this one thing right here. I gotta check. You gotta check this out. It says work began on connecting the protos to bypass the extensive conductive tunnels through its roots in conjunction with the utilization and implementation of various elevators and sophisticated vehicles. The custodians and the Anunnaki during the reset have taken it upon themselves to cut down and destroy all the colossal trees and seal all the entrances to these cities. The intention was clear. All memory of these ancient temples and exponential growth had to be erased. So then they repopulated the known lands with a new humanity, adapted towards the ignorance that these cities and that this great empire had once been forged, where their feet would later tread the lands of the ancestors and the Anakim giants.
Wow.
So they basically used their technology to take out the trees, because they didn't want us to have no connection to the technology and the history of the past.
That's the same thing, exactly. The same thing I was saying is in that book. That's a fact.
And I want to say about we know the truth now too, because he's basically saying the same stuff. You know what I mean? The thing I like about we know the truth, he only deals with the facts that can be proven, and I respect that. You see what I'm saying? I'm basically I'm way over. You know what I'm saying? Talking about something that can't be proven. You know what I'm saying? But
this is good.
You know what I'm saying? It's like it's all kind of saying the same thing. You know what I mean? So I respect it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is great, man. Because see, the things
this
a lot of
good
these,
chop
a lot of these things we talk about, it all goes together, like you said earlier, Mama T. It goes together somewhere. You just got to know where to, lock it in there, because all this stuff go together on certain levels.
Yeah, right. We're unlocking our ancient memories. Everyone has a piece. We have chapters of this book, right?
That's the objective.
There you go, baby. We're here to put this thing together, and people in the chat, you don't know how many people we are activating with this conversation, okay? Because we're remembering, we're waking up, right? And some people were here during different civilizations, at times of different civilizations. And so here we are at the finale of this great story. And I think it's all going to turn out in our favor. I know we talk about the deletes and what they're doing and this and that. I think they're the ones scared to death. I think they're the ones losing their minds. They know this shit is over. They pulling out all the stops, and they're on some kamikaze missions. We can't have it, can't nobody have it. But I also think we're being monitored, we're being watched, and we are our ancestors' return. All of us are here. We are our ancestors' return. We're remembering we came here to be on missions, and we are activating a lot more than we think we are. And so, man, this is a fantastic show. How y'all doing in the chat?
I love it.
How y'all doing out there? This is fire, man. This is fire.
This is a great one for sure.
So we're gonna take some questions for the chat. How do y'all feel? You guys can hang out for a little longer?
Yeah, I can hang out for a little while.
Yeah, I'm chilling. I was about to spark him, but I was like, nah, I ain't gonna do it on the show.
You about to what?
He's about to spark up, but he said he gonna wait.
Oh, he gonna spark up. Hey, just don't do it on camera, huh? You could blank out. What you got?
Look what it say.
The text about Medusa and the petrified giants.
Okay.
I'm gonna get that book. I'm about to get that book. That book look fire. I like that.
Remember, Medusa is Tiamat. The same person. You can't kill Tiamat. She's an artist.
Right. She comes through her daughter. She reincarnates to her daughter. Check this out about. I'm glad that you brought that out.
Now,
so check this. You know that they have. Let me tell you. Like you go to Greece. You go to Rome. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. All right, let me add you back. You go to Greece. You go to Rome, Athens, all of these places, and they have these statues.
I need a copy of that photo of that
they
map.
Look real, and some of them are posed. They have these posed. It was said that they were petrified, like they looked at something and it turned them to stone because the detail in these statues look so real that they don't think anyone took there and chiseled it out. This was something that some kind of effect that had over them. So when you show Medusa, like a stare, like a sister, you know, a sister, we got that stare, especially you got them sisters with the one eye that's lower than the other. Now, y'all brothers, y'all should know this. You got the mama like that, your auntie like that, your grand. She look at you and one of them eyes is lower than the other. That's because one eye looking at you and the other eye is cutting through your soul. So when you're saying Medusa had a look that could turn you to stone, this might have been a superpower that certain women had at a time before all of this stuff took place on the planet. So I just want to throw that out there. What you think about that?
I personally believe that women did have abilities, but I also believe that they had. When we talk about the Lot's wife, right, and the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, Lot's wife got turned into a pillar of salt. The story basically indicate that the Anunnaki had. We're going to talk about the Anunnaki again. Had extraterrestrial technology that had the ability of literally turning people to stone and stuff. They had technology. Some of the giants you see petrified are petrified due to extraterrestrial technology that they can actually use to literally. You see mountains that look like it was eating or doing something, and they froze.
Right.
They didn't even have time to run or nothing.
No, was that from the mud flood?
I believe it was some technology that's beyond our comprehension that can instantly put you in suspended animation.
That's
just my perception.
I want to say that it's said that the actual dragons that guard the mountain wall is their fire turns you into stone. You see how so all the dragons that come with Tiamat, because she's not coming by herself. You know, they talk about they got movies where they talk about the dragons just come out of nowhere. They came from the ground. They don't know where they came from, right? It's because they coming from the wall. They come from outside. They follow the queen. And
she had the Tiamathians.
Huh?
Yeah, some beings called the Tiamathians.
Tiamathians out here.
I thought that was something like
she had sons that was big as hell.
Yeah.
My sons was like 60 foot tall and stuff like that.
We need to when y'all gonna turn into them? We need y'all to activate.
We are activating right now as we speak.
So they basically saying that fire is what actually turned a lot of the giants into stone. Was the fire that's coming from the dragons, but also he's right though, because it says in the book too that the custodians and the Anunnaki was coming, and I'm not sure they wasn't saying they was put turning into stone, but they did say that they was destroying they civilization though.
They had technology. This is when they said when Lot's wife went back, what's she turning to? That is technology. If you look at the Bible,
there was technology. The whole period of them. That was when the so-called angels came down and they destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. That's from that story, correct?
And Lil used to say that we made too much noise. And Lil used to hate the humans. He said
I thought that was I knew.
Yeah, sex loud. All the kids cried too much. So and Lil, like, maybe think about Sodom and Gomorrah. They was partying. They was having a good time. And Lil probably came in here like, man, turn this shit down. Y'all in here wilding out, man. And then they use this technology. And
that's what you said. That's the thing about Anunnaki. That's why there's some haters, because they shouldn't have no say on nothing we got going on here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're not even from this planet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they shouldn't have no say of nothing we got going on Earth. That's the one thing I don't like about the Anunnaki and the custodians. They have too much of an opinion on what we got going on in their district.
Now there's alleged good Anunnaki like ISIS and stories of Inky being good and certain other Anunnaki.
You think she was an Anunnaki? I said was an Anunnaki.
ISIS. ISIS all set. Yeah, the story tell about. All right, so the way the story go according to the Enuma Elish is that all right. So all set is also Ishtar. Ishtar, all of that is the same goddess. Ishtar, Isis. Ishtar is Isis. Ishtar is Easter. Also, Easter is the personification of fertility. All right. So the way the story goes,
Isis is Jesus. But
go ahead. Yeah, but see the way the story go is basically the Anunnaki was basically trying to create mind. They wanted the mind for gold. Their planet was in jeopardy, right? They came down. They brought the Agigi with them. The Agigi no longer wanted the mind for gold. So allegedly, they found a hominid that was already existing. They covered in hair. They called them the wild ones because they was covered in hair. So the wild ones was actually the Dinosaurians or a hominid that already existed. And again, they referred to them as wild because they was covered from head to toe in hair. All right. Wow. So the way the story go is the that these things. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
There you go.
You know the truth.
These Anunnaki was tried to, they used materials from the earth and clay and things of that nature, and they basically tried to make a hominid. The way the story go, they used the man first. They used the man genetics. It didn't work. It came out a humanoid, but it couldn't talk. It couldn't communicate or anything. It was basically not. It was like an NPC. So they said we need to use an Anunnaki woman. We need to use a woman. It's not going to work with just a man. So this is when they took that mixture and then they now inserted it in Isis. This is why the Bible is Genesis, the genealogy of Isis. Gen Isis is genealogy of Isis. It's making reference.
I want to say something about what you're saying real quick, because the Anunnaki, they did come here and create the custodians and the Anunnaki both came here. You right with Unana. She gave birth to the hominid, and they came out all deformed and shit, and then they had to do it a few times to get it right. But I don't believe that's the birth of. I don't think that's where African. I don't feel like that's where we come from, though. Like I feel like that was the birth of the Neanderthal and their civilizations. You know what I mean? I feel like we come from the bloodline of. I feel like of Tiamat. So we're not even from that because we come from a bloodline of the Anunnaki and Tiamat. That's where we come from. But this hominid Neanderthal race. That doesn't have nothing to do. That's the Caucasian. That's their history. They were
hold on. What about the Yaqub? What about the
Yaqub was an Anunnaki that was helping them, the custodians and them to create. He was the one that helped them create the hominid. He was the one that helped them create the Caucasian. They locked in. You see what I'm saying?
Out of spite.
We were already here.
I'm sorry. For the people in the back,
I watched this on my own time type of thing. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it.
I could explain the whole story of Yaqub if you want to. I mean,
give us the condensed version.
I'll give you the condensed. The condensed version of the story is basically that Yaqub was his family. He was associated with two. I got the book right here. I can give you the whole story, but I don't want to do too much. But I can show you pictures of him and everything. Based on the story, Yaqub was an amalgamation between a Toro and a being from the Danako tribe.
Dero.
All right, which means that his head was very large. All right, so you got the Toros, which they had to point the cone heads. Okay, cone heads were the Toros. Then you have the Danako tribe, which also had big heads. So Yaqub's parents was not supposed to be intermingling. Yaqub was inner earth initially, right? Mm-hmm. Yaqub was inner earth, and his parent, his mother was a Toro. But the Danako tribes was on the top surface. They was intermingling. They was mating with each other and when they shouldn't have had. And they ended up having Yaqub. Yaqub's head was bigger than normal because he was a mix of Toro and Danako. So now, with this being said, Yaqub had two brains, which made him extra smart. He was a very, very brilliant scientist. So the way the story goes,
he was
being picked on and he was being teased about his head and everybody it's hilarious.
Right. It was making fun of him. It was on Boondocks.
They was making fun of him and shit, right? So, anyways, Yaqub got tired of it. He was like, "All right, fuck these niggas. All right, that's why I've been watching them up."
We adults.
He said, "Forget them boys. I'm about to get him back." So at age 7, they said that Yaqub experimented with magnets. All right, and he actually discovered polarity. He discovered positive and negative energy. All right. And at that particular point in time, he discovered this word of this epiphany to actually create negative energy opposing forces against each other. And that's when he actually started creating the hominid. He had 23 scientists. He started using the eugenics programs. Now, according to some texts, some indicate that he received the tutelage or the download from Ashtar Command, which was a Palladian being that was nefarious that gave him the blueprint to create the Tamahu, or the Albion being, the Caucasoid, basically. And we have 99 elements. They lacked it melanin, calcium, and carbon. They lacked it those 3 elements. I see you want to say something. Go ahead, family. I was going
to say that those Neanderthals, they basically, what Yakub was doing, he was taking the people that already existed, which is the tribes that he came from, and the Neanderthal to create the Caucasian, and so splicing their DNA, trying to eliminate melanin to try to basically make a new species. But I wanted to touch on something you said earlier. You said that the 2 tribes that Yakub came from, the Diro and the other tribe, right?
Yeah.
These tribes were on Earth, right?
Yes. You know
what I'm saying? So that's the
some of them was interterrestrials too.
Right. Those are the tribes I'm trying to tell you that come from Tiamat. You see what I'm saying?
All right. So now let's talk about Tiamat a little bit. Are you familiar with the story of? I'm not sure if you're familiar with Dr. York's story of Tiamat and how it was brought into existence.
I know Dr. York. I know Dr. York's story.
So you're familiar with it? They saying that Tiamat was a large planet. It was a crash with Nibiru.
Yeah.
A portion of the planet broke off, recoalesced, and created what we know as Planet Kai or Earth, or in ancient times they call Eridu, which we know as Earth. The Anunnaki called it Eridu. These are all the suns and stuff. Shamus, Apsu is our central sun. All right, and then you got this is, let me see if I can find a page.
I'm gonna take a page out, Mama. I'm gonna just say that that Dr. York. I'm not and you know, blessings to Dr. York. You know what I'm saying, and all the honor to Dr. York. But I want to say that you know, everybody, like she was saying, everybody I feel like got a piece of that puzzle. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
You know, and I feel like Dr. York, he did a good job of breaking it down. I just feel like a lot of the stories about Tiamat didn't come out till Zechariah Sitchin started talking about, you know what I mean, like those stuff that happened back in the day. You see what I'm saying? So they have a lot, like they got a book called The Lost Book of Enki. Have y'all read that one?
I heard about it, but I haven't had the chance to purchase it.
That's the main book everybody needed. The Lost Book of Enki. He talk about everything.
I'm gonna get that book.
He talks about how he created the hominid. You know what I'm saying? Talks about how there was different species. They had different types of Anunnaki during that time. And Diro was one of them, and they had another tribe there, and the African American was one of them. They have a bunch of different tribes that was here during that time, and I feel like that. But Yakub was a part of the Anunnaki of these new tribes that basically got mad because we was clowning them. Well, just like we do today, big ass head. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was doing that.
Different than how we do today.
And so Yakub got mad and said, "I'm gonna destroy these people. I'm gonna use them, and I'm gonna use the Neanderthals to create a new man." You know what I'm saying? That's what he did.
And then, but see, most people talk about Yakub, but they never really talk about his brother who had opposing ideologies of Yakub and wanted to restore order. He wanted to restore order where Yakub implemented chaos. His brother wanted to implement order and actually restore energy back to the movie.
Me and my brother.
All right, so
that sound like Inky and Lil.
This nigga right here.
That does sound like Inky and Lil. That's why I'm saying. And it says that Inky was an ugly motherfucker, and he looked ugly as hell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's not cool.
Well, damn.
So they didn't, you know, he was mad because his head was brolic. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That could be Inky though. That could be Inky because that story come from Muslims or Islam.
Listen, honey. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all just saying the same story over and over. It's a remix. Y'all P. Diddy, king of the remix. Y'all remixing the story over, and it's always the same story. It's always two brothers want to oppose, which represents opposing natures. It represents duality.
It's the hero twin story. Like that's
they keep changing the names. They keep changing the names.
Some people say Yakub actually translated to Yahweh.
Oh, okay.
Now let's talk about, because you said something about Yah and Wei being Nibiru and Sirius.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about that.
Well, that's according to the Hopis. They believe that one of the signs of the times is going to be Nibiru and Sirius returning, basically coming back. And what the Hopis believe is that One is going to occupy the North Pole. One is going to occupy the South Pole. And this is going to be assigned that what they believe is that our planet is spinning in an accurate way. It's actually spinning clockwise when it should be spinning counterclockwise. So what the Hopis believe is that when Nibiru and Sirius get on the North and South Pole, is going to redirect the trajectory of Tiamat. And actually, at that particular point in time, it will invoke a new way the world is going. This is based on Hopis. This ain't me. This is based on
no. That's cool. I'm just trying to understand with astrology. There's things called fixed stars, meaning that they don't move. Now, Nibiru we're all on ships. Put it that way, right? Because we're all rotating. We're moving. Earth is a ship. If you think about it, it's a planet. It's a ship. We're moving. We ain't sitting still. But they're like certain stars, like Polaris, like you always the North Star. You was looking for North Star. It's always there. Right?
Pole star,
Sirius
pole
is one.
stars.
Right.
Yeah.
Regulus, right? There's these stars that are in a line, and they don't move. So it's interesting when they said when Sirius goes to one pole and Nibiru comes to another. That's the first I'm hearing about that because I didn't think Sirius moves, but who knows? It could be because it's known as a fixed star.
I mean, it's maybe they said when it becomes visible, but that's what the Hopis teach. Let me see here. It says, Yao and Wei. Let me see here. I'm going through it right now. First thunders. Okay, so one of the let me get to that part where I mentioned Yao and Wei real quick. Hopis, Yamasi, and the Wapians have logged these thunders as a sign coming of a new planet, Nibiru, the coming of a new era, the sign of the end of a new present world ruled by evil, and the resurrection of the ancient mysteries of Egypt, Atlantis rising in the heart of Georgia. Let me see here.
So, what I was gonna say is Yao and Wei is similar, like the red Kachina and the blue Kachina?
That's red Kachina, blue Kachina. It's the exact same thing. That's the fourth thunder. So the fourth thunder is a sign of twins, Yao and Wei. Yao and Wei. One guards the South Pole, the other guards the North Pole. Havoc begins with these poles. Structures break down. Religion, moral, and financial. The devil wins. El Nino takes over. And in the fifth thunders, 4 great people will perish. So this could be the queen. This could be the personification of the Pope. You know the Pope is sick right now, okay? So 4 great people perishing is a sign of the Hopi prophecy. The fifth thunder actually coming into fruition. Floods, lightning storms, tornadoes, landslides, hurricanes, hell in the summer, forest fires, children killing children. We see that in the drill rap right now. Children killing children is crazy with the drill rap right now. What else they say?
But that's been going on.
Oh, I know, but it's worse right now with drill rap. Chicago Listen, when I was a shorty, Biggie and Pac dying was a surprise in rap. Like, oh, rappers died. Now
that was a big thing. Yeah, it's an everyday thing.
It's like it's not even a surprise no more, right?
Right.
This is what I'm talking about. Killing.
It was just 70 degrees somewhere inhaling at the same time.
Insanity and murders, upsurge in drug addiction and demonic revivals, parading themselves as righteous. El Nino, little girl will come. It says little girl will come. I don't know what that means. 6 thunders, changes occur. The star people return, signs in the skies, new planets, new galaxies, meteorite storms, climatic alterations. We see all those things. Global warming, spiritual revivals, presence of divine. It says disregard and respect for world governments. People starting to realize the government full of shit. And they no longer respect their authority.
It's here. Right? Somebody said, Veil is up. Said, it's already here, honey. This is it. That's what I'm saying. This is the grand finale.
But listen, it says leadership, politics, 7th thunder, the end of the world as you know it, the year 2030, according to the Hopis.
Avengers Endgame or something like that?
The God made mention of the calendar being shifted 1,000 years. All right, so are we really in the year 1025?
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, really think about that.
But how do you know this shit didn't happen already? And this, like,
we're living in a post-apocalyptic world. This world already been destroyed already. It's already been destroyed.
Hold up, where my sound effects?
It's like our 7th time. Like they've been destroying this stuff back to like you saying. Y'all just said 1903 they had fires, and you know what I'm saying. The other time they had fires out there in what's called Chicago. They've been doing it.
This is an ongoing thing. So. Sometimes I be wondering, is all of this another psyop, right? Because it's quite evident we're at the precipice of something, right? We're at the crossroads of something.
Mm-hmm.
And we're being bombarded with all these psyops, you know? Go ahead, bro.
We got 7 chakras, right?
Mm-hmm.
The world has the earth has 7 chakras too. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
The earth hurts also. But when the earth hurt, bad things happen.
Honey.
We try to blame it on everything else, but the earth has chakras. The earth has powers. Like you say, melanated people have powers. The earth have the supreme powers.
Honey,
and if you bothered, and if you ain't seen nothing yet, now if the earth is hurt in a certain type of way, and over time through these resets, the earth was hurt every time.
Mm-hmm.
And if it happens again, a chakra can set this earth off. The earth can a flood, like you just said, a flood, a fire, a mud slide. All of that is nature's reset. And the way nature gonna reset, the earth gonna make nature reset, right?
Facts.
So we gotta start looking at this thing a whole different way than it just coming from, because if the earth shifts under the ocean, a whole continent could be gone in an hour.
It's a goddamn wrap. Mm-hmm. You're right. So it's very interesting. I'm glad you brought that up.
So we got to get these people who hurting the earth to slow down or stop.
No, not slow down, stop.
Problem
they got
with our,
Yeah.
And that's the thing. They can't go nowhere because they from here. And nobody's about to accept them in their district. Nobody. They got to stay right where they at. They're not about to leave. They're not allowed to leave this district. We can go, but they can't leave. They got to stay.
Now, with the chakras, I just got to say this. In Vedic teachers, they teach that we actually have 116 chakras.
We have a lot.
7 main chakras, 72,000 meridian pathways. We got chakras in our hands. We got chakras in our feet. We got a higher heart chakra. Or we also have a higher heart chakra. We have what's called a soul star chakra that sits above the crown chakra. We have what's called a foot star chakra. We have an earth star chakra. Because chakras that also exist within our aura field as well.
Shout out T.Y.
Because we got to remember, we're not just the body. We actually
And
I want to
big shout out.
I worked in
love,
the
baby. Fist bump that thing. If you watching in the back, if you in the back watching, big shout out to you, man.
I actually saw my own eyes that let me know this.
I pray that it will be returned 100
The
fold.
earth is pumping as if it has a heart, people.
Let's keep listening.
It is pumping. It is pumping rivers. It is pumping. It's pumping. It has a pulse. It's pumping.
Big shout out to you.
And
yes.
And when you look at it, it looks like a person that's in the hospital on the
respirator
on the flatline thing, right?
Oh, Jesus.
You talking about the
and when bad things happen, as in things like you burn down too much wood in this area, you move water from an area that don't supposed to be moved. The earth flatline gets like
big shout out to TYJ, man.
Cardiac arrest out here.
That's love.
Exactly, and that's when bad things happen.
That's a fact.
And
yes, sir.
You're right, God. You're 100% right.
Yes,
sir. Gratitude, Corey.
That's facts.
Shout out on that.
I never seen it.
Return 100 fold to him and his loved ones.
You know what?
I saw the
I pray that it is 1,000-fold.
I love that you said that. Thank you for bringing us back to earth, right? Because this is where we are. This is where we need to be paying attention to this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because no, you're right. Because I've always said, when this planet is stressed out, she's going to get rid of what's stressing her out.
Exactly.
Right? She's going to get rid of what's stressing her the hell out. And we need to realize, because we're not connecting to nature and this planet. If this is our home, right? Because we're all trying to go somewhere else. A lot of people want to go to all these other places, but we on Earth, right? We're in this body. We're in a physical form, right? Even though the spirit, the soul is in the body, operating it, but we in the body.
Exactly right.
Like you said, all the minerals and everything of the earth you're going to find in our body, as well as the stardust is too. Mm-hmm. You're going to find all of this. It's a reflection, right? So we are like, when you look in the mirror or you look in the water, right, you see your reflection, or the reverse side of you, right? This is what it is. And we have to reconnect to the planet and everything in it. And once we do that, we'll be in harmony with the planet, because we have been adverse to the planet with the plastic. I mean, a lot of us, we are participating in the demise when we do things like trash and garbage and plastics. And we know that the people, the corporations are using pesticides and this and that and the other, but we're not unifying enough to conquer them. And when we look at it, it's 1% of them and 99% of us. So whose fault really is it?
The wisest thing I ever heard was that Earth is a big part. Earth is the universe. Earth is a big part of this universe that we are talking about, because a lot of the beings that we know to be actually here for sure are here. So something special is here also, and this is a part of the universe. A lot of people just think, we just look at like we just not a part of the universe no more. We are. We might be the center of the universe. So
that's why everybody here.
We are exactly. So we have to put that into equation with the other knowledge, because we are part of the universe also.
I wanted to say something, but I'm gonna go off topic.
Go ahead.
Real quick, what's it called? You know how we, as people of color, they talk about how we have powers and stuff, right? Superpowers. What people don't know is that the Anunnaki are actually much weaker than we are. You see what I'm saying? For an example, like when Superman was on Krypton, he didn't know he had super strength. You see what I'm saying? But the Black Americans and the people that are on this planet are super strong as hell. You just can't tell because everybody like you. You see what I'm saying? But if you go to another district, you're going to be way more stronger than they are. You see, so we already have superpowers. You see what I'm saying? But we just don't realize it because we all amongst each other. But we just need to just keep staying healthy. You know what I'm saying? Take care of ourselves. And we already got the powers that we need. So when this enlightenment comes, because there's a war that's about to come. There's a war coming.
Hold up. When did the war stop?
It never stopped. It never stopped. But they're scared of us the most, though, because we are superpowered. We're already superpowered.
So, exactly. I want to stay right there, because the superpower is in the consciousness. It's in the connection of the soul and the body, as well as connecting to the earth, kind of like Avatar. I remember the movie Avatar. The Avatar is really talking to us. The waterways, with all the different versions of Avatar, they're really trying to show us who we are.
Avatar is great,
right? With our hair connecting, everything like that. We're taking. Most of us don't even know the anatomy and physiology of the body, right? We're not even using all of the brain. So just imagine. If we tapped into now, Elroy, you have this contraption, this mechanism. You had this video with your two children, and this, I don't know what the hell that was. You had this
it's right here. It's right here.
Go get that thing, honey.
It's sitting on my chest.
He had the little boy.
That looks like it's off a movie or something.
Hold on, little boy step on a copper ball. Yeah, that whole thing. I told you, this man a genius.
What is that?
Shut up! Let me give you a solo.
This is actually the image of Hathor, and I didn't even realize I made it in her symbol until after I already made it. I didn't even realize.
Look at this. Because they calling you. The sisters, the mothers are calling. The planet is calling her children to awaken and do what they got to do before she come wipe this thing clean.
Whatever that is.
And I'm not sure if y'all know what this does here. But just for people who don't know, it just sends an electromagnetic frequency through your body, and you can also send it through the ground, and it'll come through your feet.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? If you're outside grounded, you can switch the hertz to Earth's hertz at 8 hertz, and it'll match this Earth's frequency at the same electrical frequency.
Nice.
I'm actually going to show this on the Quantum Fest. For that, I'm gonna get like 10 people together, and we all gonna do it like together.
That's fire.
That's fire.
Bring it to my point what I was talking about.
That's
definitely
fire.
That's a prop.
That's fire.
That's a prop.
That's
I also want to say that actually,
hold on.
The reason why we're the most powerful things in the galaxy is because the sun, the black sun, which is the black hole, the wormhole to the fifth dimension, is in our realm. It's in the center of our realm, and so we have the most powerful sun in the whole galaxy.
I believe
yes,
that.
that's
Check
the
this
reason
out.
why we're the strongest people in
I
the
just
galaxy.
wanted to say this, honey, about this. What do you call that?
It's called it's basically the Djed. The Djed, that's what they was doing. They was sending
the Djed. The Djed you got.
The jet pillar.
You talking about like the Pharaoh name, the jet?
Right. Yeah, the the jet thing they had in their hand. This is basically what this is. It sends an electromagnetic. It's magnetic. It sends an electromagnetic frequency. See right here. It's magnetic. The whole staff is magnetic.
What you use lithium and magnets to power it?
So basically, the staff is a transformer. This is the generator that sends the electric current through the staff, which creates the magnetic field and sends the current through the whole staff. So basically, like this right here, I put this in the ground with the ball, and the current goes through this whole wire into the ground, into your feet, into up. You're gonna feel it in your body and everywhere.
So, but the point I was trying to make with you in the Djed was when we activate, we need a lot more brothers like you creating things like this to charge us in the way that we need to. Because when you had your children out there and it was just 3 of you, when it was most strongest is when you all held hands.
Right.
Right? Because you were holding one side and Benego felt it. And then you said something and we could get 10, 20 people even standing in water or something that you said of that nature. How we can all charge up our frequencies.
Together. Yep.
Together. And that is the magic word. Togetherness, unity. And this is why we are weakened on this planet. This is why everyone is fighting us, why everyone wins that are this 1%, because we are divided, fighting each other, and that is creating our weakness.
Yeah, because I never thought I can say that, because somebody's gonna say what will happen. I could say it's never been done. I have never seen it done where I've only ever had two people. You know what I mean? But if I got 6, 10 people, you know what I'm saying? I turn up the charge and I say, we're going to put it on the Earth's hertz, 8 hertz frequency, and send that current through all of us at the same time. And we're all matching the same electrical frequency. What the hell is that, bro? We don't know what can happen. We don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, we about to.
Yeah, this is type of stuff.
I want to make a quick announcement.
Let me chill a little bit.
See what Elroy showed. We're going to have this at the Quantum Fest. So I want to show you, make sure y'all go and register now. It's available for you to get your tickets if you are looking to be a speaker, an influencer. If you're a scientist, you want to go to quantumfest.net.
Houston,
and sign
Texas.
up right now. This is where science drop knowledge, metaphysics spark magic, and 5D ascension take place with special guest Dr. B. Serious. I am God Frequency. Straight wordplay in the building.
Okay, my Strange gonna be there. Fire.
777. Top Phoenix, my brother Elroy. Y'all need to go now and sign up.
Yeah,
Tickets
that's
are now
fire.
Available.
That's
We're looking
fire.
for scientists, inventors, natural
That's what's
healers,
up, bro. That's
astrologers, numerologists, artists, food trucks, holistic entrepreneurs. Bring your magic to the people and showcase your your craft. Tap in now. Get your tickets now. Quantum Fest. Vendors, speakers, performers, entertainers, volunteers. Contact us today. Quantum
Nice.
Fest.
Big shout out to what she's doing right now.
Man, that's so nice. This is beautiful.
That's right. Yeah.
I can't wait.
Stupendous.
What you was gonna say? We know the truth. You was about to ask me something.
What's interesting about what you have is I researched the Jolly Green Giant mound builder. You know, they say that was in, I think that was in, I can't remember what state, it was in America, but that crop field that he planted had copper running up and down the crop field.
Because
in an ancient culture done this, right?
Growth.
And when they dug it up, this copper is connecting and so they replanted the crops with the copper lines in the ground, and those plants grew exactly the same, like the same speed, the same shape, and everything. So when you say they're connecting hands with the copper, I mean with the you put the copper ball on the ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, all of that is that's very interesting, man. I really appreciate you doing that. It just kind of shows that nature and the beings on this planet can connect and use the same power and grow each other with that power.
Yeah, Mama T, my drink. Just want to make you aware. If I shout out, it's because my drink dying. I don't got it in the charge. So I'm just letting you know.
Okay.
Yeah, mine too. That's dope though. That's dope though, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
That's very fire. That's very fire. That was genius, family. That motivated me too.
I can't wait. I can't wait, man. Because I really just want to. Because I never had the opportunity to have more than 3 people. So I just can't wait to get a bunch of people with me. Maybe I could get like a big old pool, a kiddie pool. We all standing there.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. We gotta get charged up, honey.
Something might happen, bro. You don't want
something might happen. I think because we all connected electrically.
He said something bad might happen.
I'm talking about it's gonna be good.
Whatever. Good. Okay.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be powerful.
Copper bracelets too. That'll probably enhance it.
Yeah, I got some copper bracelets.
With that copper jewelry.
Yeah, with copper bracelets and
with the quartz and the Labradorite.
This will be during the summer solstice.
That's fine.
The alignment period that's what I'm talking about. You need to be there, Mr. We Know the Truth Now. I'm gonna need you.
I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna come. I'm gonna be there.
You gotta come. Right?
I got you.
Now you gotta
and
go, bro.
Organs.
Don't front, bro.
Organs. All of that. Those of you who are scientists, inventors, this is your wheelhouse. We need you there. Right?
My boy Turk should go there, man. Turk should go. Turk the Driller should go there.
We showcase our gifts and our talents, your inventions, bring out your prototypes. This is the place for that, right? So come on, man, be a part of this thing. It's about to be popping.
I'm excited.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Anunnaki came out and landed right on the
God. Why you gonna bring them party poopers? They the party poopers. We don't want.
They gonna be like, nah, we don't want y'all doing that.
And we finna do that. We got to shift something because the shift is up to us. It's up to us to do this.
We don't want the powers. We don't want the powers. They can't do it.
Show and prove, baby. So with that being said, we're going to close out this thing. Do y'all have any last words you want to share with the audience and let them know where they can find you, where they can follow you, what you do, where you could be found, and also they all going to be at the Quantum Fest, y'all. So y'all might want to go ahead and get your tickets now. So we're going to start with We the Truth now.
That's fire.
What closing words do you have for the people today?
I gave my word. I'm gonna be at the Quantum Fest. I'm gonna be there. Sir. Follow me on TikTok at We Know the Truth Now. My YouTube is We Know the Truth Now. And peace to the guys and goddesses, man. We just here trying to enlighten the people on different knowledge, and we all try to put this big puzzle together because our history has been so scrambled around in different places that they try to mislead us from the truth. But that's my goal, to get down to the absolute truth for the beginning of a lot of these things, and that's what I like to stay a part of that. So y'all follow me at We Know the Truth Now on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. I love y'all and I'm in love with you, man.
I love you too,
that's what's up. Well
Thank
said.
you so much. Appreciate you.
I haven't heard that.
Thank you
I
so much.
love y'all and I'm in love
all
with you. That's what's up.
Strange wordplay. Up next. What you got for the people there?
Man, you can follow me on Instagram at holistic_remedies_9. You can also follow me on TikTok at Strange the Wordplay King, as well as YouTube at Strange the Wordplay King. I'm also on Facebook at Kelvin Strange Crippen. And I also got some esoteric lyrics coming as well. High frequency lyricism is what I really specialize in. All right. So that's really what the primary objective is. And also teaching you how to cleanse yourself. All right. Right now, when we stepping into ascension to Christ consciousness, our primary focal point is cleansing ourselves at ascension to Christ consciousness. Removal of parasitic organisms, cleansing yourself and detoxing yourself of all toxic metals and things of that nature. That's what I pretty much let the gods and goddesses focus on, because their whole objective is to poison us to ensure that we don't reach Christ consciousness through toxic metals, lead, cadmium, mercury, parasitic organisms that have adverse effects in your genetic sequence. That's their whole objective. So clean yourself, fast, sun gaze. All of these things are essential for light code activation.
Thanks.
Ashe. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. All right, Mr. Elroy, you up next.
I just want to thank y'all for tuning in, and I appreciate you for inviting me on the show. Shout out to We Know the Truth, and
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Strange wordplay.
Strange word. Shout out to y'all brothers, man. Y'all getting some good information. Got me thinking over here a lot.
Man, shout out to you, both of y'all brothers too, man. I appreciate both of y'all.
Yeah, that was fire, bro.
Yeah,
where they can find you at?
I want to say that that you guys are more powerful than you can ever imagine. It may appear that we don't have a lot of strength, but we do. And in order, and that's the fire that's within y'all. In order for there to be a fire, something has to be sacrificed. So always remember that the fire can't exist without a sacrifice. So just stay strong and keep working on your body, keep staying healthy, and man, just hope to see y'all at Quantum Fest, man, because I can't wait to let everybody try it.
Where can they follow you at, Elroy?
Y'all can find me on TikTok as Elroy. You'll find it, or you can look me up on Google, put EMF staff, it'll pull it up.
Awesome. For all of you who are going to be watching the replay, I'm going to tag all of their web pages, all of their social media accounts, and you can be able to find them there. Okay. So once again, brothers, thank y'all so much. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I've been following you. I've been following both Strange Wordplay.
I follow both of y'all, man. Wordplay, man. I've been watching you since you first started.
Man, I appreciate y'all. To make sure that I know your joint too. What's your joint again, family? I'm about to follow you right now.
Elroy.
Elroy.
I'm following you.
And I follow you too.
Yeah. There you go. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Right.
Make sure y'all come to the Quantum Fest. It's going to be an amazing event. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. It's been a powerful build. Look, this was fire. What you talking about?
This was
amazing. I really enjoyed the show. It was popping. What y'all think?
It was amazing.
Give a round of applause for the brothers that came
on here today.
Oh, I'm always speechless at the end of a live. It just takes me somewhere. I'm just so happy that all of this is coming together. The whole point of the Stellar Marriage podcast is to bring talent like this and showcase them to the community, right? We all know the stars out there in the community, but there's a lot of heavy hitters that we were on TikTok. TikTok is a whole nother space. A lot of people aren't on there. So my goal was to bring those people from TikTok right here on the Stellar Marriage podcast and share them with this audience so you can see the knowledge and the wisdom that we have to offer. There's so much out there. There's so much information. It's our time, y'all. It's our time to awaken, to walk in your divine purpose and your divine power. All right? We just traveled through dimensions on this one. The knowledge drop tonight was beyond powerful. And if you're really listening, you already know this conversation was a major activation. We uncovered some of the lost truths of Atlantis and its deep connections to the Americas. We explored Tartaria, the Moors, the cosmic blueprint of our ancestors. We broke down some planetary alignments, sacred mounds, and suppressed history they tried to erase. Now it's time to take this knowledge and apply it. Start questioning, start researching, and most importantly, start remembering. Thank you for joining me tonight. I love y'all. Once again, Sha Bliss signing off, a.k.a. Mama T. Thank you. I love y'all. Peace, love, happiness, joy, all that good things. And make sure you go to quantumfest.net. And don't forget to try some of Mama T's wellness blends today. With that being said, love y'all. Peace out.
Your North Node. Your North Node is calling.
Hey, yo. Make sure y'all go show her some love if y'all like the content. You know what I mean? I'll be doing this on my own time. You feel me? We're gonna be watching stuff like this, Friday night lives. We're gonna make Friday night lives a thing. So let me know if you enjoyed it. If you enjoy this kind of stuff, and if you want to watch more of this kind of stuff, go check her out. Honestly, this one was powerful too right here. 1 month ago, it had Yaya, the goddess that we like watching, Yaya. She's very smart. They had Shavi Zane. I love Shavi Zane. And someone else was very powerful. It was a 3-hour stream, and it was beautiful. So if you like this type of content, go check her out, man. This was pretty good. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, go show her some love. Like, you feel me? Like, we streamed her stream. Yo, gratitude, Corey. But This is the type of stuff I watch and chill and kick back with on my spare time, on my downtime when I'm not doing the presentation with you guys, when I'm not working on the presentation. So we're going to probably do more of these, more things like this on Fridays. You know what I'm saying? Why not? Why not? Friday Night Lives. Anyhow, that book that Alroy was talking about right here. The Dome and Outer Space Projection. Year 1728, The Last Reset. It's only $7. Oh, that's on Kindle. On Kindle it's $17. Paperback is $20. $17.09, you know, shipping and handling, all of that. $20 book. I think it's worth it. $20 for some great knowledge. You know what I mean? Why not? Check it out, man. Anyhow, y'all already know what's up, man. I send deep divine abundance, balance, harmony, love, prosperity, strength, unity, including authenticity to all authentic and genuine beings that share energy with me, share love, been rocking out from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? This energetic exchange that we do on a regular is dope. It's beautiful. It's amazing. You feel me? I'm going to take what the dude said. I love y'all, and I'm in love with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Straight up and down. Grace, gratitude, thanks. I'm highly grateful, and thankful for you guys who just been here. You know what I'm saying? If you're new to the channel, like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when we go up. For the people in the back who draws it too damn tight, panties always in a bunch, you know what's up, man. Relax, pipe down. It is not that damn serious. If it don't resonate with you, so what? Leave it on the ground for someone else to pick it up. Better yet, you don't got to be here. You choose to. Remember that before you say something stupid. Full disclaimer, this video is for entertainment purposes only. Any and everything you see on this channel is merely speculation. View discretion is advised. Please do your own homework and proper research for proper discernment. You know what I'm saying? Anyone and everyone who has ever sown a seed with me, it will be returned 100-fold as the Most High using you as a divine vessel to divine support yours truly, because it's all about divine support. I just want to say grace, gratitude, and thanks. Peace and prosperity, you and yours. Never goes unnoticed, so it does help the channel, the foundation, my well-being. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to TYJ once again. Big shout out to TYJ for donating Cash App during that presentation. Big shout out to you. I pray and may it will be returned 1,000-fold, because divine is using you as a divine vessel to divine support yours truly, because it's all about divine support. You know what I'm saying? You know what's up. Yeah, I'll pull it back up for you, Corey. I ain't no sucker. I got you, bro. Right here. Mama T's official YouTube. Just type in Mama T, but you got to put M-A-H, M-A-H. It's not regular mama. But yeah. Check her out, man. Big shout out to all y'all, man. Word. Safe traveling to Astrals. Love and unity. Balance and harmony. Protect your energy. Protect yourself. Y'all know what's going on, man. I'll see y'all next time. I'm out.